I'll put these on another layer that I can.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining. You might have seen that Nathan Oakley just showed us one of his hangouts, and there were a lot of misconceptions and talking over each other. So really, nobody could get a point across. So what they're gonna do now is identify literally every single point on the Isle of Man from Anthony's footage that we will be able to. So, and with me, I've got TheRumpus this time because he has done a lot of work, a lot of impressive work to actually identify lots of surface features on the Isle of Man in the picture. Hello.
Hello, Gio. Hello, Alex. Great pleasure to be here with you.
All right. So I think the best way to go through this is if you just present all your work.
Okay. Let me just. Sorry, I'm just thinking I'm just trying to move some of the comments that you were asking me. I'm having a problem clicking on the right damn thing. Oh, bloody. Yeah, sorry. Just to try and get rid of some of this stuff. Let's get rid of the peak finder. That's not helping. Right, so let me just get this on another. Oh, damn it! Hold on a second. Just nearly there. Right, nearly there. One more thing to click on. Right, I'm just putting it on another layer to get it out of the way. Give me one last second to. Notes and right. Let's do that. I can hide that so it doesn't interfere with things. Right. Oh, sorry. Right. So this is the composite image all across here. Let's get rid of these lines as well. Actually, just not helping, are they really? This referencing a image up above. I'll put that in the notes as well. Okay, right. So this is the composite image that presented by Ranty that I've got here, which of course we know has got this ridiculous slope off to the right-hand side. So we know it's got some basic composition. But actually, I verified it with the actual other image, the other taken from the other viewpoint. This is an image from the second video that Anthony, at least I believe it's so slightly clearer in the first one. But in fact, I think the composition, I haven't corrected it quite as well. So I think there are actually some slight errors here. So I've compared this with Peak Finder. I can also overlay on top of this Peak Finder. This is the thing that is on an online website that enables you to look at peaks, and I've been overlaid here. You can see if I change the transparency of this thing here, that I can show you that the Peak Finder image matches the photograph, and it matches it reasonably well. So there can't be a major error, but there's a few places, possibly to the left there, that mean that it doesn't quite agree, because I've generated from knowledge, as Gio knows, that Alex knows. You can, if you know the find some peaks on here and identify them from the image, you can then say, well, if I know that the distance between this peak and that peak, or some other object you can find, like the lighthouse, which is down here, you can identify that and then identify other features. You can then work out the degrees per pixel on the image, and then having identified the particular position of any one thing, you can then put a bearings up, which I've got at the bottom in a nice scale, and so I can identify the bearing, and it agrees with Peak Finder to a resolution of about 0.1 degree. It's not quite right because I think some of the composition is wrong. So it's accurate to within one of these bars here, and actually that turns out to be quite a small amount when we go and look at Google Earth and things. You'll see that's actually comes to about a sort of 100 yards or something when you're looking at places like Balla Canal. So anyway, so this is the image we've got. I've got a nice bearing scale on here, so I can very quickly identify where anything is, and Alex has done much the same at his end, but I've got a nice bearing scale here that we can look at and go through identifying things. And of course, in the hangout that I was just involved in, we were looking at, that's me just doing measurement of how big this house is. We were looking at this area, which is Balla Canal. This is the infamous tuft of trees, and these are the 4 houses here that I believe are near Baldrain and on a road that appears to be at about 100 meters. Alex was having some other ideas about what that might be, but I believe those are 4 houses that unfortunately I can't show. For some reason, I can't share my Google Earth and show them to you. Hopefully, Alex will do this for me and show the 4 houses I'm referring to that are on this road that go from Balla Canal to Baldrain. This is and from knowledge of this, because I've done this bearing thing here, and we know that the Balla Canal is here, or you know, from the lighthouse from here and matching the peak finder, we know that this Douglas Head is over here. Well over to the left here, and not where Anthony's playing. Just by simply adding numbers, if you know how far from here to here is, for instance, you can know how far the thing is, and just look in Google Earth or on the survey, and you can tell just by doing simple multiples of angles that it can't possibly be. This cannot be Douglas Head as Anthony claims. So I think Alex and I are going to try and go through some of the bearings, using the bearings we've got here from the second view. It's also another point which is annoying, which of course that Anthony didn't tell us where the second viewpoint was, and I had to go and work that out. And so of course these bearings, and he moved about 200 meters or so, which does actually change the bearings a little bit just to confuse the issue, but I've adjusted for that supposedly. So these bearings are from the second viewpoint, which I can show you. Where's that second? Here we go. This is what I was dealing with. This is from the first video. That's where he claimed he was about here. Turns out from calculating it, he was actually here, which you can do via various means of looking at high resolution ordnance survey, working out proportions, and the fact that, and taking advantage of the fact that the path is straight, and the fact that this little kink just here we know is at 25 meters, and you can work out therefore that's 20 meters because you know the other features on the path. You can work out that at 23 meters. But the second video, which we know, as you can see from these two very different pictures from the first and the second video, you've got this headland that's here. I've changed this. I've moved the. I'll show it more easily in this picture. I've overlaid the two pictures from here, and if you do a transparency thing, I've made the rig the same size in both pictures, and this shows you the change. And you can see the headland shoots off to the right, and suddenly you've got a completely different beach full of rocks and things here, and also the sea level jumps up and down, as you can see there, between the two positions. And he's obviously much higher, and from the shape of these rocks you can work out where he is. This is the shape of sort of funnel shape. This is another picture from it showing the sort of bar here, and there's a distinctive sort of funnel with a bar, two sets of rocks in it coming back at you, and you can identify from pictures taken from the sea where that is. And it puts him just about here, which is very close to a 33-meter high point. He's not quite at the high point because the high point is set back from you can see they're rocks, by the way. The high point, which is here, is set back too far away to get the position of the video. He's there, which is nearly 33 meters. If you add in the tide and things, you end up with a height of 35 meters, which Google Earth gives us 15 meters. So it just shows you how ridiculous Google Earth is in the circumstance. Not surprising, really, given that the resolution of Google Earth is 30 meters one way or another. And if you look at, as I probably saw on the Hangout earlier, here's a comparative thing. This is a box here. This is the high resolution ordnance survey map with each one of these lines representing, the contour lines representing 5 meters, and that's a 30-meter box. And this is the original box size on that the Google Earth data was made on the shuttle radar topography mission, and you can see that the Google Earth is just a low resolution, very low resolution in comparison to the high resolution ordnance survey. Again, in fact, it turns out the ordnance survey is accurate to within 3 centimeters. And so Google Earth, even the A themselves, is only accurate to 30 meters. So of course you go with the ordnance survey data, and they even say so in the Google Earth. So if you want something done accurately, don't use this. Go away and go and get a survey. Use the local survey data. So so we know what height Anthony was observing from, which is about 35 meters, 115 feet, which is quite a contrast to his claim of 35 feet originally. And so we can get bearings from that position in Google Earth. So because I had to move that, I had to change the bearings. So all the bearings I've got are relative to this position here, which is a few meters away from the high point. It's actually probably more than 100 meters from where he claimed. Actually, that's a good 200 meters, isn't it? Or more. In fact, I should put a scale on that, shouldn't I? Yes, because you can see the height. That height from there is about 30 meters, because the tide is another 5 meters or so. So that cliff face, just the cliff face there, is about just under 30 meters. Anyway, so what Alex and I were going to do was to just go through some of these bearings that I've acquired that I say are accurate to within 0.1 of a degree. And then we can identify features in there and try and work out what height they should be and whether we should be able to see them. So is that a good enough introduction, Alex?
Yeah, was pretty awesome, actually. What I would like to begin with is actually Balla Canal itself.
Which is
apparently, in the picture that we got, or basically in all the pictures that we have from Anthony, there are two easily identifiable buildings right there. You got one marked.
Yeah.
That one, right?
Yeah,
and the one slightly to the left.
Yes, and I believe, and I think we both didn't we worked out where that building was, and I've got a screenshot actually of it.
Yes, we both got the same result regarding the first estimate, which building actually in Balla Canal that is.
So here, in fact, yes, here we go. It's actually located there. I don't think I've got a zoomed in thing on Google because I can't share Google Earth for some reasons I don't understand. I haven't got a screen grab of that. You might want to show them that building on Google Earth. I don't think I've done a screen grab of it, unfortunately.
Sure, I'll just share my screen so you guys can see it.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
By the way, I might know why you can't share Google Earth. Yeah, if you go to the options, you can select between DirectX and OpenGL mode.
Oh yeah, indeed you can. Yeah.
You might want to try to change that because sometimes the DirectX drivers are a little bit annoying about that kind of thing.
Rightio. Okay. Thank you for that. Yes, I looked at that and I hadn't. Yes, that's the right house. Yes, that's right. Indeed, that's exactly right. We agree on.
Yes.
Oh my God! Now I realise why. Oh Jesus! I've just had a thought. I was wondering why. I was measuring the size of the blob. There, and I was wondering why the size of my blob and that scale. I've got to show you this actually. That's you just by showing me that angle there you've chosen. It just worked out. I think it was absolutely driving me bonkers. Let me show you the. Oh God, you've just made my day there, Alex. The thing I had here, that blob you saw me showing. There we go. That blob that you saw me move. I've worked out that was 25 meters. And I was thinking, well, hold on. I went into Google Earth Street View, and I said, no, and looked at it. I thought, damn it, it's bloody. And I found out the house is actually nearly 35, near 36 meters wide. So I thought, damn it, these don't agree. And of course, as Alex has just shown, of course, you're coming from an angle. And so, of course, you wouldn't get the full. And in fact, it's 45 degrees. So, in fact, that accounts for the discrepancy between this, what I was thinking, the width of this, and the width in Street View, because I was doing it from the side, of course. What a pillock. So, thank you very much for that, Alex. So, that's maybe even now, that's exactly right now, because this gives a view of about 26 meters, this bar. And at that angle, that's 40 meters, because it's a 40-meter wide house, nearly, that house. And that angle would give me just right. So, that's fantastic. Thank you for that, Alex.
No problem.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, that's made me feel a lot better.
All right, so we both correctly identified this first building. The heading, let me just screen share Google Earth again. If we actually go to the second observation point of Anthony.
Right, are you correct there? Oh no, you are right. Sorry, no, that's fine. Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, well done. Yeah, I think I gave you the coordinates yesterday, didn't I, actually?
A few days ago, actually, but whatever. We end up with a heading of approximately 240.39 degrees. Is that more or less the same that you get?
Yeah. Let me just check on let me just open my show guides. And that was, I've got, yes, now right, yes, but unfortunately on my scale that showed us 240.35. So it's a half, it's 0.05 out. So I've got a slight discrepancy with my scale, which is based on other things, but it's it's close enough. And
in this case, it's really minute because the building itself has a diameter of about 0.05 degrees.
Oh, that's true, actually, of course.
So you're less than one.
Actually, that's a very good point. If I pick the right-hand side of it, let's just see what happens there. That's a very good point, actually. You suddenly reminded me of the things have width, don't they? Yes, I didn't.
So you're actually less than one diameter across.
It doesn't quite compensate for it.
Bad. It's not that bad. It's just minute.
Yes. Yes. So the point is, we don't know this. It's all dependent on the composition quality of this photograph, telling us where things are. But we've got them. In other words, so the accuracy we've got on my bearings is about the width of this house, one way or the other. So that's the accuracy that I've established, and so that's why we can be very confident about the things to the left and the right. Yeah. So thanks. Yeah.
All right. So the second building in Balla Canal, that one I wasn't yet able to identify. The one.
Oh yeah, I found that one. Yes, I found that one.
You found that one. All right.
Yes.
That's brilliant.
Unfortunately, again, I can't show. I could try changing how I. Yes, good point. I could go to the tools options, couldn't I, and see if I could suddenly see if I can start showing again. Yes, the. OpenGL. Where is the damn thing? Where's the option? Cache.
It's in tools, options,
Yeah,
and
got there.
then I think it's in the most. Where is it?
I
No,
got
in 3D. In 3D it is.
Oh, I'm using OpenGL. Oh dear. So that's okay.
All right, then try going to DirectX.
Let's try going to DirectX. Okay. Oh, I've got to restart. Okay, we'll restart the application then. Okay. Let's see if that does the business. Yes, see if on my. Yes, I did. I should have thought about it myself. I saw that option, wondered it. Yes, of course, all these things are always very fussy. And that this graphics card isn't the newest graphics card. Although that's quite powerful. It's not the new right. Let's see if I can screen share that then. Oh, I think we can. That's me screen sharing.
Well, currently I am screen sharing.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that's confusing me. Sorry. I thought I was. Yes, that was. Yes. Okay.
Maybe you have to restart the screen sharing option.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry, I got excited.
There we go.
Brilliant. Hey. Super duper. Yes, I should have thought about it. Well done, Alex. You're really helping me out here today. But that angle thing just was driving me bonkers, thinking it can't, because it would be that angle thing. You see, would have been about 25% out. And I tend to work. I don't know about you, but with these sorts of things, I'm prepared to accept an error of about sort of 5 or 10% in everything I do. And that was 25% on that size, that building, and that was really worrying me, because that was beyond my sort of acceptable error. And now you've got that angle, and of course you can see the angle it's coming in at Balla Canal. And I should have, because I'd gone to Street View, I'd forgotten I wasn't the road. So you can see here the angle. So there's the house in question that both Alex and I have identified. And you can see, of course, it's not going to be the full width you can see from the thing. It's going to be about half that. So that's exactly fine. So yes, the second house identified was this one. I actually went into Street View. This is it. It's this here. This actually is a big block of flats, and it's just at the right. And because I've got this 0.05 degree error, if you move this one along by the right amount, this line actually ends up being here. So I believe it to be this thing here. But I'm not absolutely sure. But I believe so. I can give you the coordinates of that. You can see it, can't you?
Well, going from the picture alone, it definitely appears to be taller than the other ones, and
yes.
It seems to have the right size and orientation.
Yes.
So yeah, unfortunately, in Street View you can't see it from the valley side.
Yeah, you can't see it all the way. You can see that it's a big thing, can't you? That's the point.
Yeah. You can definitely identify it.
So I think that, and it's at the right angle difference. If you allow for my little 0.005 error thing, it'll move it by 100 yards. In other words, so I get from there to there, and this line then it moves to here. And so and it's at the same height. The point is, it's at the same height. And so therefore, and given the distance is effectively the same at this distance, there's no difference between the distance between them in effect. And because I've checked the height difference, and they're very, very close. Though I did initially think it might be a house down here or this house here. But there's quite a big height difference between this house and that house, and therefore it can't be that one. Whereas this one is at the right height, it's at the right angle separation. So I believe this is the second house.
All right. The next point would be the infamous forest in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, we both already have identified that one as well.
That's right. You did that. We both did that independently. Yes, that was really good. This is the This is it here. This is the infamous tuft here, just which you can see if you're looking from the right here. It's just to the left of the Balla Canal. And what's more, I can actually screen share my thing, which shows it very clearly about the tuft. Let me just go and change where I'm screen sharing, because I've got an excellent little thing showing exactly how that works. Here's the tuft thing. Right, so let's switch off these guides. Get these guides off. Right, so this is from a plan view. So here's the White House we were just looking at. It's there actually, and the tuft of trees. The left hand was just to the side of them. This is Baldrain, and this is the head that Anthony wants to claim is Douglas Head, which of course you can see. Actually, I should have shown a plan view actually in that hangout. Yes, it makes it clearer here how ridiculous. Yes, because this gives you an option, the ability to see the scale, whereas wasn't so clear from the other view. So there's the tuft of trees, and in fact, if you go to the do a profile on it. There again, this is from a different angle. There's Balla Canal again. This is the tuft of trees from the side, and you look at the elevation, and you can see that in fact the trees are right on the ridge, on the brow of that hill. And if you add on 20 meters of tree, I mean, it's already a clear view. This is the clear view line to the viewing point at the 35 meters odd at St. Bees. And that's all the angle you need, so even if it's just on the brow. But these trees, you can see from the shadow, they're actually very tall. They're much taller than the other shadows. So this is clearly some sort of commercial foresting thing for presumably some sort of, I don't know, some sort of presumably a softwood coniferous tree. But that gives you the idea. That's correct to scale that tree for a 20-meter tree, and I think those are at least that. So that gives us, and so these 4 houses. So there's the tuft, and the 4 houses that I believe are here. In fact, there are more than that, but they're obscured. I can show you that now here. Now I can share this damn thing. So there's that tuft of trees up there, and these are the houses here. I believe. Am I right there? No, sorry, these houses here, because they're just to the left of the tuft. So there's the tuft of trees, and the houses are just to the left, and they're the same sort of distance away. So the White House here is about to the same distance to the left. Well, it's a little bit more. There's other White House here. Yes, I think actually identified this as being another blob that you can see to the right of the tuft of trees. But this, which I think Alex was thinking might be these four houses. But these are the 4.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think your screen share is frozen. I can't see your mouse or anything.
Oh, right. Okay. I might. Okay, I'll close some things down. See if I can.
So before we go to the pictures left of the tuft of trees,
Right.
as said, that there's one right of it that you can see when you contrast enhance the image. It's quite obviously visible. There's a single house, higher in elevation than the two single houses identified in Balla Canal, and it's pretty much at the same angle, at the same heading as the right side of the tuft of trees.
Yeah. Am I screen sharing properly again?
No.
Okay. I'll stop and restart the screen share. Oh, okay. You're doing it. Okay. Yeah. So you can show them then the.
I think you still have to end your screen share and restart it.
Okay, I'll do that then. Right, and then here we go. Pro. Right. Can you see me now? Can you see me move around?
Much better, yeah, thanks.
Great. Sorry about that. Yes, so there's the tuft of trees up there. This is Balla Canal here with the White House we were just looking at. This, I believe, is the thing Alex identified as he was proposing that might be some of these buildings, but I think it's another white blob that I'll show you in a second. So there's the left-hand side of the tuft of trees, and you can see just by looking at angles, it cannot possibly be Douglas Head here. You can see, you take these angles here, which I should present as a plan view. This is not Douglas Head over here. It's all the way, well, Douglas Head is all the way over here. So it's way, way, way far away. And so Anthony going about Monton can see that it is just ridiculous. So here is what I believe to be the 4 rows of houses. That actually, and you can only see some of them. So there are actually 6 big ones, but two of them you can't see. So there's the ones I think you can see are this one, second one, third one, and fourth one. And if I go to my other screen, my graphic application, let's just share that. Oh no, it's on this one. Share. And if I go to that, if we go to the screen composite image again, right, so there's the big White House we were looking at. This blob here, I think, is the thing that Alex was thinking might be the houses. These are the 4 houses you can see here. And you can even possibly see a hint of the house, the one that's slightly obscure. But so I think those 4 houses are the things that I have identified. There's the tuft tree.
It appears that they are approximately at the same elevation than the one a little bit further to the right, I would say.
Yes, yeah, that might, yes, which indeed. If I go back to
because I don't have the survey data that you used earlier in the Hangout, but at least Google Earth suggests that that farm or whatever that is significantly higher than the other 4 buildings.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So this one is approximately at 120 meters.
What, the
Well,
farm?
Says 115, 116. Yeah, that farm on the right side.
So
what I would be actually trying to look for is a row of buildings at the height of 115.
This blob. So this blob here. Can you see my pointer?
Yes.
You're saying that you were saying that's the farm, are we?
I would say it's the farm. Yeah.
Yes, I think so too. And but unfortunately, as I was finding out that I hadn't done the calculations on this yet, because I've been trying to do I was going to go through all the interesting points. So the problem we've got at the moment is that I believe these to be if you go to the leisure map, I don't know. I could share the leisure map. If you go to the leisure map, which I'll share
but
now.
by the way, what heading do you get for the farm? Just to clear that up.
Okay, right. For the farm, I got.
I mean, in the picture, obviously, not in Google Earth.
Yes. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. So for the farm, let me just switch on the guides again. Yes, it's that one there, which went down to 239.9. But as I say, there's a 0.5 error, so it could be anywhere between.
You're pretty close. In Google Earth, it's
240.
Yeah. Sorry.
So I believe, so if we add on this error that I seem to have acquired from the composition or whatever of about 0.5, it could be about 240.3.
Well, the Google Earth value I get is 240.18.
Right.
So it's
okay.
Right in the center of your error bar.
Okay. Right. Okay. Fine then. Okay. Great. Okay. So it agrees exactly. So that right. So yes, and of course I've chosen the middle of it here. And in fact, it's quite. And the interesting thing about that farm is it's quite low and it's quite wide. So it actually, as you can see, this image will perhaps not so clearly there, but it is actually a sort of wide, low thing, which also sort of adds to the credibility of that. By the way, don't get confused about the right-hand side of the trees, because I believe that it sort of disappears behind. Actually, there are some trees over here. So it's obviously sort of more, you can see more or less. It's only the left-hand side of the trees that are really very clearly defined.
Yeah, you can also see in Google Earth that on the right side of the trees, there seems to be some sort of storm damage or anything.
Yes.
They seem to be.
It does look a bit like that, doesn't it? Actually, yes, it does look a bit like storm damage there. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see that in Google Earth quite clearly.
Yeah, I'd agree with you actually.
The shape and also the color of the trees is changing from green to brown.
Or it's had a fire or something. Yes, it's.
I wouldn't say it's a fire. It looks like storm damage.
Right. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yes, because that does look a bit like the gap that's in that. Because of course those trees that we can see are only the ones right on the brow of the hill, and immediately they go over the side, and you can see almost the individual trees here. So I was just trying to work out where that right-hand edge actually might be. So it's not there, the right-hand edge of the tuft, if anybody wants to go and look at it. It could easily be over here. But yeah, so that's interesting. We get the farm. So I've got that farm thing spot on, I think. But then that leads us to the problem that I found in the hangout just now with Anthony. I hadn't done this calculation yet. That was my next final thing to do on all this, was to go and check all the heights of all the interesting objects. And according to the Metabunk calculator, which is one I agree with as well, assuming Anthony's height of well, I suppose we ought to go and do the calculate. We should go and look at the calculation of that, shouldn't we? Is that what you want to move on to, these 4 houses now, Alex?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've pretty much
because you weren't happy with my identification of those 4 houses. Are you more happy now?
Maybe I don't know yet. First of all, we agree that the forest is where we actually think it is. The headings for the farm seems to be accurate. So let's now try to find out the 4 houses where they actually are. So what heading do you get for them?
Right, for the leftmost one, you can see there, I got 239.65. And
0.65.
Yeah.
All right. So for the farm, you were about 0.1 degrees off.
Yeah, and this one I think is like slightly more.
So we would probably expect like 7.5 maybe.
Yeah, I think what you end up finding is it identifies the 3rd house rather than the final one. I'm heading on the leftmost house, which of course we don't know which one that is, but so it ends up, I think, being pointing at the 2nd house.
Is it possible that you're actually looking? No, that's further to the left. Because there seems to be another row of buildings further up the coast a little bit.
Oh, is there?
Okay. Not up the coast, further up into the land. It appears to be another row of farm buildings.
Yes, that's right. And I didn't. Yes, I mean But
can
yes,
you see them on my screen? Those ones.
Okay. Can you see them? This is you're referring to this thing here, are you? Actually, you might not be. Actually, you might have. Actually, looking at this
Because
angle,
in Google Earth, they have almost the exact headings than the ones that you propose. They're just further up into the land.
And there are 4 of them, aren't there?
There are indeed 4 of them. Yes.
From this angle, can you see my screen sharing here?
Not Google Earth.
Sorry, let me just screen share. Actually, you might have. Yes, you might have got me there. Actually, this may be my problem. Right. Can you see that? Can you see the Google Earth screenshot?
Yes, I can.
Right. So these are the 4. So I was thinking this was this 1, 2, 3, 4 houses, but I think I haven't actually checked from one end to the other. But yes, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be behind the tree. Yeah, actually, I wasn't.
Oh no, not these ones. They're even a little bit further up the coast, further up the land. Just go back.
Oh my God!
Those ones.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And those happen to be right at the same elevation as the farm we had before, at about 150 meters.
They? Oh God! Yes. I just didn't see it. Well done, Alec. Yes, there's the farm, isn't it? That one.
Yep.
You say you didn't give me these coordinates for this one, did you? You gave me the coordinates for the other one. Okay.
I don't think I gave you the coordinates of this side at all. I just gave you the coordinates of the farm.
Yes. Right.
So again, we have 4 buildings again.
But it can't be that though, because that's not a building, is it? Okay,
but there seems to be a farmhouse or something like.
Yes, I missed those little devils because of course I was trying to do it on the fly. I only did it. Yes. Okay. Right. So this one, we should be able to work out what the angular separation of these are, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
And then we can see if
I get an angular separation. Like, go to the left. Do you see the left building behind the small trees? That one. The left side of it gets a heading of 239.66.
Okay.
And the right is one. And no, not that one. Yeah, that one.
Great.
That gets 239.78. So we have 0.12 of a degree of angular separation in total.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna which if we then and then we should be able to use that to work out. So we should be able to say how big that. So that should be on my little. Yes. Okay. So I should then go to my thingy and see if that. Remember that number. Then remember that separation. I'll go to my thing and we should hopefully get the same thing. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Great. Good stuff, Alex. Brilliant. Yes, this could be my error in. Let's go to the right things. Share the bloody. Right. So if I go back to my picture, and you're saying. Right, the difference between the. So let me put one and then the other.
Can you maybe zoom in a little bit?
Yeah.
The Google algorithm is like compressing it to bits. Yeah, that's much better.
Sorry, I just moved the wrong thing. There we go. So if I put another guide in here, so let's put that the right hand side of that to that. Let's go. So this will follow. Okay, so I've got those 2 lines. Let's go down to my scale. Right. So according to me, that should be a difference of.
0.12.
1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 a bit. So it's just over 0.1. 0.1.
Yep.
0.15. Sorry, 0.1.
105.
105. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty close to the 0.12 degrees.
What was the number you came up with the angle separation?
0.12.
Oh, brilliant! Well, that's incredibly okay. That's within 10%. Easily, brilliant. Okay, so I've misidentified them. Oh, I swear, that'll teach me, won't it? Yeah, so I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right, Alex. I think these 4 buildings that they were going on about. Yeah, I identified as one set. I think you found the real things. Let's go look at that again on Google Earth. Yeah, I hadn't. Yes, I hadn't put the sufficient required effort in, had I? Let's go and have a look at that again. Brilliant, Alex. That's fantastic. Well spotted. I hadn't been. I was too busy being in the hangout to do it. But well done for. That's you spotted another one very well. You're very eagle-eyed in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, my YouTube name is Geostreber, and the Geo stands for geography. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. You certainly got an eagle eye. Yeah. So, wow. So we've got the exact right angular separation between there, and you didn't even choose the thing that wasn't a building. Well done. That was very rigorous, very, very fair of you. But it still comes out perfectly right. Bloody hell. So we've got an angular separation that is exactly right for that matches that. And it's right. So what's the height of this little beastie? That is according to right. So let's go and look at that on the Ordnance Survey map I was showing earlier.
Yep. As said, in Google Earth, it's pretty much the same as the farm, somewhere between 110 and 118 meters.
Yes,
farm
correct.
is
Yes,
at,
yes, close to 100. Yes, close to 120, isn't it?
Yeah, the center of the farm is given at 116.
Right, brilliant. And so if we stick that in the metabunk count, so let's
I think actually, I think in the picture from or in the panorama photo, you can actually see that the farm buildings are sloping up a little bit to the right side.
Okay, let me
and that seems to be the case here as well.
Okay, let me go and screen share the right thing again.
Maybe by a pixel or two in maximum, but I think you can see.
Oh, you're right. Yes, yeah. That you can see that there. Oops, mustn't click that. I'm amazed that the separation is correct, because I thought that would be that's a killer. That is the fact we've got this, because also these trees to the left. I'm wondering, yeah, what that's. Oh, but of course it comes in quite a sharp angle, doesn't it, onto that? Yeah. Yeah, and as you say, it does slope upwards like that. Whereas the four in the on that road, I'm not quite. Yes, I should go and check what the. But that's fantastic. If you've got that separation to match exactly, and so right, and so I should, and I can work out what this height is. See, because we know the distance to these things, I can work out how high that is above the water. In effect, so I can work out what this value is.
Hidden height, yeah. That was what I would suppose we should be able to do now.
Okay, so I'll do that then. I will now work out what that should be. Let me just start up my little mathematical program, and I can measure this. I can measure this distance and in angles. I'm just starting up another program which is interfering with me being able to do very much. Okay, let's just get.
So it looks like, if I'm correct, I would say, like eyeballing it, that it's about. Hard to say.
Hold on. Yeah, let's yeah, it's distance always right. So if we go there to the, there we go, there to there. Right, so if I then rotate that by 90 degrees, let's make it a little bit thinner. Let's make it so it doesn't look quite so gross. Yeah, it's not far off. Yeah, perhaps I'll extend up a little bit. Oh, I made it not horizontal now, vertical. Oh, it actually wasn't. Just
by the way, what's that program that you're using? That looks
it's
nice.
Zara Pro X. Zara Design. There's various forms of it, but this is the biggie. Right, so let's rotate that by 90 degrees, and I can now go and all right, I'll leave that. No, sorry. Let's just make a copy of it first, then I'll rotate it again. Original in place, and we'll just bring that down. Oh, well, I could just and we're just trying to check. So we know that the angle, therefore, given that I've just put that on 4. Oh, let's make it on something convenient. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's almost exactly 0.005 degrees in height, and given that the degrees per pixel on this are, oh, I forgot. Well, we can work that from the distance, of course. So we know it's 0.0. So if I go into the math, so so the calculation therefore is if you know your circular geometry. Let's make that a little bit smaller. 2 point. So we've got 0.05. Is that right? Let me just pick up. So it's yes, it's 0.005 degrees. And then if we convert that into radians, which I can do quite easily, and then multiply that by the distance to those things. Can you tell me what the distance is to those houses in kilometers, Alex, or shall I go and do it? You got it to hand, or am I going to have to click away? Have you gone?
Sorry, I accidentally muted my mic. From St. Bees, right?
Yes, just from St. Bees to that those farmhouse. What's the distance in kilometers?
So let me check. I just take the middle house for the measurement.
Yeah, okay.
It's 61.68 kilometers.
66.18.
No, 61.68.
All right. Right. Okay. And I'll just send you that calculation.
Times 10. You have the dot at the wrong position.
Right,
61.68.
Yeah. I don't worry. I was going to get that right because I have to make.
Okay. Yeah, 68. That's correct. There we go.
Yeah. Sorry. I was. Don't worry. I was going to get that right in my little calculator program. Yes. So it's 0.05 times 61.8. Well, actually, I'll multiply that by 1,000. Get it into multiply that. Get into meters. And that, that's degrees, of course. Got to make sure I don't lose that in radians, because of course every sensible person works in radians. And so, right, that gives 53.8 meters. So we think from that calculation, we have got a missing. So that distance there should. So if we subtract that from the height, so we. On Ordnance Survey, we said that was on Ordnance Survey, we said that you said that was 100 and how many meters high?
No. That was on Google Earth. I don't have the Ordnance Survey data.
But you told me what the height of the farm was.
Yeah, from Google
Earth. Elevation.
Yeah, from Google Earth.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I said I don't have the Ordnance Survey data. I just don't know where to find it.
What does Google Earth give us? Because we can add
Yeah, I said it's somewhere between 110 meters to 160 meters.
And I, when you said that, actually, I was looking at the Ordnance Survey, and it was within 5 meters of that. So,
all right.
So that's quite close. We could go and check it later. But let's just do a sort of within 10% type. So the elevation now, of course, it's not allowing for the 5 meter tide, of course, which we should really allow as well, shouldn't we? Of course. So I'll put in 115 meters.
Then actually, I think it's better than to go for 120.
Okay.
Because like the side of the buildings that is closer to the hills, like not on the valley side, but to the other side, at least in Google Earth, is given at 114 to 117.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
Yeah, right. So you're close at 120.
Right. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Right. So we've got 120 meters that Google Earth is telling us how high this is, and I've now if we in Metabunk, if we go to the Metabunk calculator now. We type in how much should be. So what is missing is so the distance we can see here between the top we've established was 50. So this we've established is 53 meters. Oh, what did you do that for? Oh, I just drew a little stupid little line. 53. We've established that this is 53 meters. Oh, please stop that. That's. Right, so we established that this distance here is 53 meters. We know from the Google Earth and the Ordnance Survey that this is about 120 meters high. So we're missing 120 minus 53.
67 meters.
Thank you, Alex. So we're missing 67 meters. So the question is, what does the Metabunk calculator say? And hopefully it'll say something like 67 meters for the refracted case. And of course, I haven't added in the tide. Oh, right, but I haven't added in the tide here, so it could be as much as another 7 meters. So it could be 74 meters. Okay, I'll put that back. But if you add in the tide, if you add in the tide or something, that could easily be 74 meters. So that is something like that. We're expecting it to say we're missing. I think so. If we go to Metabunk calculator and type in the numbers, I think I did it for the other thing. I think it said it's 95. So we're not. Okay, we're missing we're missing 15 meters here, I think.
So let me just check this metric. Distance was 61.68. Your height in meters. How high was Anthony?
He was 35 meters.
35.
Okay. That includes the tide and his tripod.
So we'll end up with refracted hidden 101 meters.
Right. So we're missing. Okay. So we're a little bit on the highs. Yeah. Okay. We've got 25 meters difference, and that's refracted. That was refracted. You said, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, that's refracted. But I think we get a similar value when we take a look at the buildings in Balla Canal. Like they're at 90 meters.
Yes. That's
over the sea level.
Yes, because this is exactly the thing I've been meaning to do for the last day or so, to go through these calculations and
the ones in Balla Canal look almost at the horizon.
Yes, so this is the big house. So this is the house that we both identified here, and so because we know that's because I've already worked this out that this is 25 meters earlier. Pardon me. Excuse me. You can say that that's 25 meters. Well, what's that? Probably
maybe the half of that, maybe between 12 and 15 meters.
I think probably. Look, I think it's a bit less than that actually. Yeah. So if I make that half the size, so it's still not. So it's actually much. It's actually a quarter.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, it's a quarter.
So that's about 6 meters.
That's slightly less than that actually. Yeah, it might. Yes, it's yeah. Say 5 max. In fact, I would say. So what will we? So how much we expect?
We are missing about 85 meters.
We're missing 80. You mean in discrepancy, or just we've got to go? We're saying we should have 85 meters missing. We've got. So hold on. So the calculation.
No. Wait. So the calculation. Let me just find the distance again to that building.
So we know this. How high is the house? It was 90. Is it 97 meters or something?
Well, according to Google Earth, it's 99.
Right, but we know that's So we should really look on that. So okay, so we think it's 99 meters high, according to which we know it's not good, but we'll go with that at the moment. Well, of course, the Google Earth is plus or minus 30 meters, which would easily account for the air difference we've just put in there, of course. And of course, we've already established that things like the lighthouse it gets wrong by 25 meters odd.
Yep.
So
I just plugged it into the Earth curvature calculator. So for Balla Canal, we get a refracted hidden height of 93.7 meters. So that would be a really close fit.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. So let's just go through the calculation just to remind me. So it's 99 meters in height.
The building is 99 meters in height, the bottom of it.
Yes, the bottom of it is 99 meters in height, and right, and the MetaMonk calculator is saying we should be missing how much again?
93.73 meters.
Right, right. So indeed, there we go. Yeah, so it's saying we want, but in fact, we've got missing. Oh no, hold on, you're getting mixed up between the distance missing and. Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. We've got missing.
Yeah, we have 6 meters more than expected. So, yeah, that's a pretty good fit.
It is a fantastic fit. In fact, it's better than that's a fantastic fit.
All right. So what we now should try to find is the exact heights of the farmhouses in the ordnance map.
Yes, we should. Yeah. Okay. I'll go back to the ordnance map for this.
And that includes the farm. We should do that for that one as well.
Yes. Yes. So that's a fantastic. I didn't realize it was quite as close as that on that one. I go because on the I thought it was about 10 meters on for the I did do the calculation for the Moorgold Lighthouse, which is over here. And I found there was I found there was a 10 meter discrepancy for allowing for standard refraction. But of course, we know that this, this only requires a tiny what some people call standard refraction, other people call standard refraction are different. 7/6 is one, 1.2 is another, and this would easily be accounted for by just using another what's considered a standard refraction. So it's only missing by about 5 or 10 meters. Right. So so with the problem we've got here is with that. Okay. So it looks as though the problem is we aren't getting the values of this little devil right, are we? So we need to identify them properly. Okay. I'll go to the ordnance survey again. I'll screen grab. I'll share that. Let's go screen share my Google Earth my ordnance survey activities. Right. So here is the ordnance survey. And we think that the farm is, I think that's the one, isn't it?
Wait, let me check.
The Ballaberg.
Is there a way you can zoom in any further?
No, unfortunately not. This is the problem with this bloody Mile of Man thing. You can't zoom any more. Oh, unless it's this. Hold on, is it this lot here? Hold on, which one of these?
Wait.
It could be 140, in fact. Hold on. Yes.
No. That is 30. It is. I think. Don't wait.
Which one of these is it?
You have to go further back. So go down about like 100 pixels or so. Down. Further.
Well,
now to the left. Do you see on the left side? There's the forest. No, further down. Wait. Are you looking for the farm or are you looking for the houses?
I'm looking for the farm. I'm looking for the 4 buildings.
Yeah. Then I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Bellabag.
You think it's that one? It's Bellabag, right?
I think it's wait.
Because if it's that one, that would sort out our problems. If it's this one here on this road rather than here, I'll have to go. That would sort our problems out.
That one, yeah. Well, I think that one would be a little bit too far to the left, to the right. I think it may probably be that one. Yeah.
So you think it's the Ballaberg thing here? Right. Okay. Well, that's just slightly under 120 meters in that case, which is not what we wanted. Because we've already fed in numbers of 110, didn't we? 120 already.
Yeah, we did. That's correct.
So that's not going to. If it was this one, that would fix it.
Well, I'm not sure, to be honest.
So yeah,
the other one seems to be more accurate in terms of the heading, and when you look at the forest in the background. So I think it's actually Bellabag.
Oh right, this is woodland. Here's the infamous tuft here. It's called the Corhenny Community Woodland. Sorry,
it's not the tuft. Tuft is further south. No, go further south.
Oh, here.
No, to the right.
Oh, yes, there you go. It's on the ridge. Yeah, absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yep. Yes,
that one.
That's it. Yeah,
and if I see this correctly, then the buildings we have identified, they are not this Barrows farm. Do you see the Barrows farm?
This one here, yeah.
No, further down. Yeah, that one. That is the Barrows farm. That is not our target. It appears. We're looking for is further right. Like, do you see that yellow road?
This one here.
No, further down.
This one here.
Yeah, go further to the right. Where it says where there's this edge. No, further down. Now go to the right. A little bit further right. A little bit northeast. That one. Yep. Because do you see the edge, the sharp curve downwards in the yellow road?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one you can see. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can see that one on the map quite clearly.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, right.
So that one, that's the farm that we're looking for.
It? Right.
So that height is also about 140, between 110 and 120. Do I see that correctly?
So there's 100 there. So that's 110.
10. Yeah, somewhere directly.
I think they're in tens. Yeah, they're in 10. So it's 110. Yeah, the 110 goes just underneath it.
Yeah, so I'd say it's approximately the same height as the farm.
Right. Unless it's these buildings here, which are... No, hold on. So, yeah, 110. No, sorry, it's 100. No, sorry, it's 100.
Wait. So I see the 100 there.
No, it's 120. No, it's higher. No, it's higher.
It's higher.
Sorry, the 120 line actually is this one. That's the one that goes through that thing.
All right, so that would match up then.
So it's over 120. Yes, it's just over 120 according to this.
Okay.
But then we put in 120 before, didn't we? That was what we based our...
Yes, but we calculated in the tides.
Oh, that's true. It doesn't have the tides. Yes, that's true. I did. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes, I haven't added the 5 meter tide in. Yes, there's 125. And of course, someone was telling me that it's... I'd only checked for one time for the tides, it was 5 meters, but someone else was saying it goes up to 9 meters. So...
Let me just check that.
So I haven't checked on the particular... It's October the 27th. We don't know what time of day it was, but presumably it's the low tide day on the October the 27th for this. And so if that's another... So that could give us 125 meters. So what does that do for us on the...
So I'm now getting a value of about, between 5 and 6 meters. It's what I see for the tides, at least this week.
There, this week, that's right. But it does change, you see.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to look up. Tide times Cumbria. 1 meter 97, 7.5. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's about 5 to 6 meters in now the second piece of data that I've looked up.
Okay, so if we shove in, another 5 meters, so that makes it 125. What does that do for our Metamunk missing now? Does that make it a bit less?
So what was the distance? 61.68, right?
I've forgotten now. You were the one who.
Your height was 35. We get a refracted hidden height of 101 meters, and we got up 50, right? What was the value we got for between the height over the apparent sea? Was that 50 meters? You should still have it on.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. 53 meters. We had the height over the apparent sea. Yes, that was right. So
it's currently 25 meters off.
Right. Okay. That's a bit more than we would expect, isn't it?
Yes, it is a little bit more. Yeah. On the other hand, no, wait, that's not bad.
It's odd that it's odd though that the value is absolutely right for the house over here, and we're struggling with these 4 houses.
By the way, I think your screen is frozen again.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, I can see your mouse.
Oh, sorry, I was moved. I was looking at the wrong. Sorry, I was
wrong monitor.
No, I changed the. Yeah, sorry. This is what I was trying to show you. I thought I was showing. Yeah, so this is the. So these. So yeah. So we.
So these would even have to be further up for it to match up.
Yes, really.
But that would also do the same thing for the farm.
Yes. So the error is a little bit more than we're happy with, isn't it?
Wait a second. Let me just share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. What if that farm wasn't this farm here, but that one over there? When you compare it to the picture, we have the farm right where the damage in the trees is beginning, right? Right here.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And that seems to be the case for this farm.
Yes,
better than for this farm.
Yes, it does. It's right in line. Yes, it's
this
exactly.
Farm, not that farm over there. Then we would have this one. This one is at 150 meters, and those buildings might be those buildings.
Right. Let's have a perspective.
Or maybe even those buildings. Heck, do I know?
Yes. Okay. Let's have a view from. Okay. Do you want to look at a view from how it looks from along the line of sight to see if they look as though you get 4.
So let me just mark the second possible farm.
Yes, that does line up, doesn't it, with the damage? Yes, it does. Yes, it lines up perfectly with the damage. That's yes.
That might be even better than the one we had before.
Yes.
So yeah, again, for the audience, you can see that the part of the trees here, this one here, seems to have suffered from any kind of storm damage. So part of the trees, you can actually see that in the silhouette of the shadows, seems to have been disrupted in some way. Yeah, and the average height of the trees seems to be lower. When we compare that to the picture, we have this dent here in the trees. We have the trees here, and we have them here, and we have this hole, and that is directly above what we suspected to be the farm. But that didn't perfectly match up with this one. But it seemed didn't perfectly match up with this one. But it seems to be matching up with this one over here.
Yeah.
So let's just do that. First of all, let's try the realignment. So I'm getting a heading of, for the second farm, I'm getting a heading of 240.05 degrees. Wait, actually 06 degrees.
Okay, I'll see what that says on mine. I will. I'm still screen sharing my one. Yeah. Okay. So my for that, I gave that value as 240. If you add on this little error I've got, it'd be 240.02.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Or 0.03.
Just to reference it, the southern end of the damage of the trees is 240.07, so that's practically at the same position.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah, because a little bit off. The leftmost, did you say?
The southernmost part. Yeah, in the picture's the most left part. Yeah.
Okay, my mind says that's about 240.03 or something.
Okay.
So, but again, I know there's an error of say a 0.01.
Yeah, first of all, there's an error in the farm, and there's also an error in the ridge of the trees.
Yeah. So and the composition, I think, is accounting.
So,
right.
But I think
so
in total,
great.
this farm seems actually to be better than the ones we had before.
Yes, and the fantastic thing about that is it gives us a height, doesn't it, of that?
Yeah, it gives us a height of 153 meters, and that's pretty much what we expect.
Wow, brilliant. So what are these 4 buildings then? Let's go. We need to find. Yes, so that's actually wonderful because we've been able to align this farm with those buildings with those final 4. We've identified this farm. We can yes. Now, what are these 4 buildings that have been causing me so much hassle today? Oh dear. And of course,
so they would have to have.
Well, now that we know the height,
heading, right?
we can look along now the same contour line and find what these 4 houses are that we keep on trying to identify. So let's go and need to look in Google Earth and see. Oh,
but by the way, we might have run into a circular argument. I just noticed because the height over the apparent surface of the ocean we determined, like the line of sight, that was depending on the size of the farm buildings.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So we would have to do the calculation from the start again to make sure that is not the case.
Right. Good point. Okay. Yes. Good point. Okay. But we've identified for, I think, pretty sure which farm it is now that is.
Yeah. No, I think it's pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay then. So if we do. So what? Now we need to know then the angular distance. Yes, that might change things. Right. So we now need to know the angular size of this farm. Or if well, of course, no. I can just do the angle. No, what
the angular size of the 4 buildings? That's the one we should be searching for right now.
Yes, that would be right. So if let me just get
this.
Well, I didn't base the. No, sorry. When you say I base, I'm not quite. No, hold on. The 53 meters that I've got here was based on just using my own scale. That was.
I thought you measured the distance between the buildings in Google Earth.
Okay. Let me just check. Well, on my scale. Yeah, but hold on. I know that that's 53 meters because that line. I measured it on my bearings down here. I know it's 53 meters.
You use the bearings. Okay, I thought you were using the size of the buildings in Google Earth.
No. So I just took this line and I checked it and I did this calculation. So
no circular problem there, so that's fine.
Yeah, so I know that that's 53 meters. I know that is 53 meters. Independent of whatever we're looking at. I know that's 53 meters.
What we now have to do is to find a building at the same elevation as the second possible farm.
Yes, that's
with the right heading.
Yeah.
It looks like the ones still on my screen, those ones here might be at the right position.
Okay, let's have a look at your screen.
They have a height of approximately 150 meters, and they're pretty much directly behind the other ones.
Right. So
it looks like those buildings actually are they are residential homes, whereas the other ones seem to be like a hall, some sort of hall, and I think the probability that those are illuminated might be higher at evening times.
I wonder if.
So I think we might actually be able to see these as well, only that they are not illuminated.
Right. It might be Street Map might even be able to help us.
Oh yeah.
Might be able to help us there. So let me go to. I've been scanning all this exciting stuff in Google Earth. Right. So you've identified.
1, 2, 3. Oh, what the heck?
So,
actually, we have another building over here. Do you see that?
Hold on.
That one here?
Yeah.
Still approximately the same elevation. So it might be that the first 2 of the lights are here, and the second one, and third one, and fourth one are here. Those ones here are at approximately 145 meters according to Google, and those are at approximately 150 to 155. So remember that we saw that the buildings were slightly sloping upwards. That might be the cause.
Right.
So maybe, do you see that in front of the 4 buildings, we have another illuminated point? Do you see that on my screen?
Sorry, sorry, I was just getting distracted there. Oh, sorry, I'm showing. No, I'm straight. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. So here we have the 4 buildings.
Yeah.
And here we have another one.
Yes, and I was worried about that. I couldn't find that. Actually, I was looking at that.
So maybe if those 4 buildings are in a way those 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe, and then the 5th one we would be seeing would be one of these.
Right.
Because I think it would be, regarding the heading, it would be right in front of it.
Yes. Yes, because they've got exactly the right. Yeah, that's exactly the right bearing to those. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard to determine that.
Yeah,
1, 2. I'm not so sure about that. 1. How far apart in degrees are the buildings?
Okay. They are that degree there, which was a difference of exactly, I think it was 0.1, wasn't it? Yes, it was exactly 0.1.
Between every single house and the other ones, or in total?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so it's point. They're from the left-hand side to the right-hand side is 0.1 of a degree.
You mean all 4 buildings? No.
All 4. Sorry. Yes. Sorry.
All 4, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
0.1 of a degree.
Yeah, between the left-hand side and the right-hand side.
So 37, 8, 6, 8. Ooh, those should be really close. 1, 2, 7, 9, 6. Yeah. I think it's the farm that we identified.
Oh, really? Oh, you've done the
because look, when we take a look at here, this house over this side. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm looking at screen. Yeah.
Oh, I think
I can't see your pointer though.
I'm okay. Then let me just restart it.
Yeah, I'm presenting, not you.
All right. So.
Yeah, I'm presenting, not you. That's the
problem. Yeah. So can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So this house here, this side has a bearing of 239.79.
Right.
And the one over here has 239.7. So this is about a tenth of a degree.
Exactly.
Now
right.
let me just check what about these houses over here.
Yep.
So these are 239.53, 239.60. So this is 0.7 degrees.
So they're pretty close.
Yes. Let's just what is the exact bearing of the value of the bearing that you get?
Okay, I remember.
First of all, let's start with the farm, so we can use that as a reference.
Yes. Oh, that's true. Because yes, we get that. Then at least we can work relative to that, can't we? So that should be really accurate.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So the farm, the one the farm that we're pretty confident about is at on mine, so this could be wrong, but we're going to do it relatively, so everything should be fine. So on mine, it's 239. Damn it, 239. Farm was. Oh, that one there, right? This one here. 239.94.
All right, for me it's 240.06. So we have
so there's an error. So there's the error, but I think that's within the accumulated error I've got. So, but the difference to that to the left-hand building is for the left-hand building for me is exactly 239.64. So the difference between those two,
35 difference.
Okay, so 3.5. It can't be. Oh, right, yeah, 3.5. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
0.35 degrees.
Okay, so if you change your bearing from where you are from the farm that we know about and add on 3.35 degrees.
So I would have to go for 239.71. is the value that I'm looking for.
Okay.
And there we go. It's the first farm.
Oh, it's the one you were right. Brilliant. It's right on, isn't it? Absolutely.
Which building did you measure? Did you measure the middle or one of
left-hand one?
The left side. So yeah, that's pretty close because this is the last building that seems to be completed, at least in this image.
Yes.
So we have actually just 3 buildings, but if one of this is like a large farmhouse, if the middle of it is illuminated,
from that angle, it could look like one thing, couldn't it?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe.
Yeah,
as said, hard to determine, but it looks like this is the best candidate.
Yes, absolutely, and the fact that the angle, even if I've got this absolute value not to be within 0.1, this relative value was absolutely correct, and given that we've accurately identified that other farm, we know that's where it is. So yes.
So let me just mark this on my Google Earth.
So brilliant stuff.
So this is probable,
and on my Ordnance Survey map. That was well, we know the height because we worked out the height of the other one, didn't we? The other height was
of the farm.
Yes. So this we know the height because we already worked out, because it's on the same contour as the other farm, and we worked out the other farm as being
we had the first farm being at 120 or 150.
No, so I meant that first. We have underneath the storm damage one. Do we identify? I forgot now. Did we identify the storm damaged height? Okay, we can establish anyway.
No. Let's do this again.
Yeah. Okay.
I already screenshot you. You should be able to.
Okay. So.
I think you're frozen. Might be frozen again. I'm not sure.
Okay, I will. I'm. Okay. I will. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I might be. Okay. Let's just. So. This is the online map. So remind me where to put my pointer, because you found. If you can tell me Google Earth where it was relative to the.
All right. So
So there's the tuft of grass.
All right. So the farm we identified first was Shonest. That's north of the.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. That's the one where we're not quite sure that it's the right one.
There's the one. There it is. That's the one.
No. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. Of course.
And so that means it's this one here. This is where we've now identified. So
yes.
it's
and at the same height.
And the height, yeah. And
it actually looks like the second one is a little bit higher.
Yeah, and that is at
150. Like, do you see that the line is a little bit thicker than the other ones?
No, so this is 150. It's 160. Yeah, it's about 160.
Yes, the first one at 150, the other one at 160. Nice.
Yeah. So we now know, right? So let's go back to our oh dear, right?
Finally.
So going back to 160. So we now know. If I screen share the right thing again. Right. So we now know.
150 instead, or 160 instead of.
So let's say 155. Let's go. Split.
All right, yeah, that's fair. Well, so including the tide.
We'll add on the tide, of course.
Yeah, sure. Then go for.
So it makes it 160. 160. So we believe
correct.
that this line here is at 160. Let's make it a bit smaller. So that line there is at 160. And therefore we can feed that into the MetaBunk calculator, which hopefully you've got. Have you got it at hand, or shall I?
I got it. Yeah. So let me find the distance. So the distance is 62.135 kilometers. Can you see the MetaBunk calculator?
Okay, right. It's just
62.135.
I'm presenting.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry.
I can't do everything.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's right. I can see. Yeah, I can click on your screen. Yes, sorry.
All right. So 35 meters view height, and we get 104 meters hidden.
Right.
So we have 3 meters of error.
Hold on. So because we're expecting. How much was hidden? Sorry.
104 meters is hidden.
Right, and we're saying add on 53.
Yeah, we have to add these 53 meters to the 104.
Yes.
I went up with 157, and we expect 160. So we are at 3 to 4 meters of error.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, sorted. All those 4 houses have been problematic. Oh, Oh, and we got the right angle between them, didn't we, as well? Yes, we already established that the angle between those things was the you did a check on the angle of separation between
pretty
these
much, yeah.
Oh!
The only thing I'd like to find out now is which part of the houses are actually illuminated.
Yes. Oh. We can. How can we do? Well, yeah, you need to. Yeah. So, my God, that's within 3 meters. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh well, that'll teach me to say in the Nathan Hangout, I'll identify those houses. Bloody hell, they were little fiddly. They were. That was a fiddle.
Yeah, I think you can also only see them when you're like improving the contrast in the image. In the other times, you could barely see them. So yeah. by that alone, and by the JPEG compression, you're getting a lot of error.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're getting is probably pretty much the best you can do.
Yeah, that's amazing to get that within 3 meters, and all because we know that, as you can see here, that this, you know, there's the tuft of trees, there's the storm damage. We identified this farm, and we knew that therefore this was at the same height as this.
Can you don't screen share anymore?
Oh, sorry. Come back here, you little devil. Oh, come on. Right. So yes. So here's the here's the thing 160 meters. So yeah, here's the farm we identified. Sorry.
You can throw away the missing 67 and tight 47.
Yes, I can. With the found. Yes. We within 3 meters. I think we decided there.
Well, it's 8 meters without the tides and 3 meters with tides.
Yeah, brilliant. So we found this. So there's the hole in the trees. We know that because you see a few trees there, and this is the right angle. We've got this. We found this within 0.1 of a degree, and it's the blob underneath that. We identified that. Now we know. Then we knew it was the same height as this. Then we used the same. Then we exactly. I mean, this is exactly. We got this. We looked at the angle difference between here and here. Moved that angle over on the bearing. Ended up here, which was exactly where this thing bunch of houses was. Again, slightly high. Identified it in the Ordnance Survey. Found it at 160. The Metabunk thing said there was a missing 104 meters, didn't it? The Metabunk said.
Yeah, Metabunk said 104 meters should be hidden.
Yeah, missing 104 meters.
Oh, wait, let me just check if I rounded correctly. I think. Where is it?
And if you then add on.
Yeah, it's pretty much dead on 104 meters. 104 meters and 3 centimeters.
Add on the 53 meters. And then you end up with 157.
Yes.
Meters. Which is remarkably close to 100. Well, bugger thing. It's Oh, stop doing that. Remarkably close to the 160 meters that we worked out for the height. Well, actually, of course, I was slightly generous. The 150 that I went through was actually slightly through the middle. So I was actually. So we added on 5. So I think, in fact, if I made it with more meticulous, it's actually exactly. It's more exactly even than that, because when I said it was 150 meters, it was actually running through the middle of the farm, not at the base. So I was actually giving it slightly higher than if I'd been a bit more, because I was doing sort of close things. So to get within 3 meters result is just fantastic. So well done, Alex, for a bit of synergy there. But well, the spotting, yes, that was crucial. That as you spotted this damage here, the storm damage, enabled us to identify this farm exactly. Because I'd seen this white blob as well below this one here, and I couldn't see where that was when the 4 houses. So I was worried about it because I couldn't find anything to match that at all. And I was not happy.
I see now. It could be. I think when you take a look at my screen again, if I share it.
Okay. Yeah.
So let me just draw in the line again. Oh. Now you should be able to see my screen.
Yeah, see your screen. Yeah.
So that was Anthony's position. And the middle of the 4 houses should be approximately there.
Yes, I should put some markers on mine, shouldn't I, as well?
So it might be that the one we're looking for might be one of those. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, probably one of those two.
Right, I'm going to go and this angular separation is just too good to be true. I'm going to just go and check that how you did there, because that's just too fantastic. Normally things don't work out as well as that. I can just go and check the heading for me. That's just brilliant. Right, let's just go and see if I get exactly the same error thingy. So yeah, so I'm just going. So I'm doing a confirmatory check here.
Maybe just share your screen again.
Yeah, indeed, I was just having a problem there. Let's go and
there we go.
Yeah, ruler. So off we go. So to see, I mean, this is just too good. I mean, this is better than I would. Things don't normally work out quite this well. Right. So the farm in question. Here we go. This is it. So we're looking for the angle. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, God. Go away. Oh.
Yeah, there's the left end.
Yes, that's the left-hand end. Yeah, okay, and I'll note that. I'll save that as the. Oh, I didn't look at the bearing, you stupid bastard! Oh, God! Oh, that's always the thing I do. Bugger! Okay, I'll have to do it again. Stupid git. Right. Oh, that is so annoying. Why can't they keep the headings in these things? Oh, right. Let's try again. Okay, it's exactly right. So it's there. Right, so there we go. Let's get the heading. Ding, 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 to that house. Something close to that, isn't it? So it's 239.73. Is that the value you got?
I think I got 7.4, but pretty
close.
close.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll go with that actually.
Let me just check this again, just to make absolutely sure.
Because I'll go with 239.73 for the moment. So I'll 239.73, and I'm going to say about 239.73 to left-hand side of the four houses, of the four blobs.
Oh, is it possible that you went from the wrong position where Anthony was? Because I'm getting 239.70. Or maybe I'm going from the wrong position right now. Let me check again. No, mine seems to be correct.
Okay, let me go. Okay. Let me check this.
It's the same one.
Okay, let's just try it again.
70 and 79, yeah.
Okay, let's just try this again. I'm getting a value of 239.71.
Where exactly are you pointing it? Can you zoom in a little further? I'm getting 70.
Okay, fine. So close enough. What did I say before it was? Oh, 0.73 I got. Oh, what?
Yeah.
249? It's 239. Sorry, I don't know what. Is it the trouble with not being able to write it down? Sorry, it's 239, wasn't it? Sorry.
239.70.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You've gone slightly further to the left. Okay. Yeah. You've gone slightly further to the left than I have. I was going to go with.
Right.
I was going to go with that. Okay. Sorry. I said 249. This is the trouble with not being able to write this. I should have written that down. 239.71. Okay. Let's save that. 239.71 for me. 239.71. So sorry, I put 41. That's what confused you. Left-hand side of 4 buildings. Okay. And it's just. I wish it would keep the heading. That's just so maddening. Oh, I keep on having to write it down and fiddle and lose it and do another bloody thing, and it just drives me nuts. Right, okay, let's do that again. The ruler job. Okay. Whoop. Ah, no, I haven't dropped it yet. Good. Right. It's amazing the resolution, the fact how you can do this at all. Right, so I'm going to go to there probably, as I think a fair.
Yeah, I think a little bit more to the right, because you see that the other building. No, not that building, but the other wing of the building that is.
Here. Oh,
yeah,
good point.
Yeah.
Good point, Alex. Right.
The value before you save it.
Yep, indeed. 239.80.
0.9 degrees. That's close enough.
239.80. Remember, that's 239.80. 239.80 for right-hand side. Oh, right, indeed, which is the point where, because we were looking for point 1, weren't we?
Yes.
Which is what those are. They were 0.71 and 0.81. Yeah, brilliant. So going back to the thing. This is the calculation Alex did. Just go back to my thing. We've established that the difference between this point and this point is 0.1, which is exactly the angular distance between the left-hand side and the right-hand side.
Actually, the line you're having on the right side should go to a little bit to the left, because on the left side you're using the middle of the light source, and on the right side you're using its.
Good point. Yes.
Yes, one of those two.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. So
actually, I think it's better to use the middle of the light source, because the error inside the camera and caused by the compression will start from the middle.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
yes, which was the point? Which was the 0.1 we had down here. Indeed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah,
1.1.
Just over 1.
1.05.
Yeah.
No.
So that's fantastic.
0.05. There we go.
So it's just incredible, isn't it? That they've got the resolution of a camera from whatever it was, 40 miles away or something, can show those buildings separated by that separation we can see on Google Earth. And it's only a matter of 100 yards or something. Yeah, that's incredible. That matches up exactly with the height and everything. Brilliant. Wow. Well, Alex, that was fantastic. I think that was yes, that's the that'll teach me to not check my when I said these 4 things. I just put them in the right angle, and so the houses that I identified are in fact down here, just underneath these. They're just underneath. They're there, but they're underneath it. They're actually down here. Yeah,
they're way too far down. They're at approximately 75 meters.
Yeah, so they're down
here. That's actually 15 meters less than the 2 in Balla Canal. So
yes.
Yeah, right. If those are barely above the horizon, the other ones should be completely invisible.
Even above here, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hadn't got around to checking it all. I just got the bearings right, but I didn't get the bloody. It's amazing how different things look though from all this perspective. It just shows you how difficult it is to determine what things look like from a long distance away and short close to what things look like. And that's amazing. I think those 4 things are that thing on Google Earth, that farm. Let's go look at that farm again. That's just amazing. That's
So since we're already doing that, is there anything left unidentified that we should maybe attempt to identify?
There's nothing controversial, I think, except that head. Well, we've already done the angles for the head. I've already mentioned earlier on in our thing, haven't we? How they can't possibly be that.
Does this screenshot contain a picture of the cliff on the northern end of the island?
Which picture?
Like yours.
Oh, right.
Right, let me check.
So what would you want?
You laid over it the Google Earth image, at least in the version that I got.
Oh, the peak view. Sorry, I've lost track of what you're on. So I was just going back. I was just going back to amaze myself at what we saw. Those 4 blobs. It represents that angle. Represents the difference between there and there, which is, it's 100. Yeah, probably supposed to have about 200 yards or something.
So yeah, on the northern part, that's this flat part of the island with the 2 or 3 hills that you can barely see over the horizon.
Yeah. Okay,
look because that one, there's this cliff because Riley said that he thinks that this is Ireland.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes, and
unfortunately, this
completely.
composite is worse. So this is the cliff in question, which actually this is the Google Earth thing.
I can't see your screen. You're still showing.
Oh, sorry, am I not showing properly? Okay.
Oh wait, who's streaming right now? Yeah. You seem to be lagging.
Okay.
Because you can actually see the details of the cliff in Google Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly that one.
See, I mean, for goodness sake, people, and if you put it over, you can actually make this transparent. A bit of transparency here.
Yeah, exactly. That was the one that I was looking for.
And you know, I mean, for God's sake, how similar can something be? And he's claiming that's bits of Ireland. For goodness sake.
Wait, I think you're still screen sharing your Google Earth.
Am I? No, sorry.
Wait, no, you aren't. For some reason there's some lag over here. I don't know where.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing, and if you overlay it, the cliff face there, which you can see. So there's the cliff face, and then you can put that over there, and there you go.
Yeah, and obviously that this Ireland is completely ridiculous.
Yes, and of course the reason it doesn't look quite right, of course, is because this is Nathan doesn't understand that Google Earth doesn't have a zoom function, so you have to go close to it, which of course wrecks all the perspective. It means that things are higher than they should be. And it raises up the lower.
It does have a slight zoom function. There's a trick on how you can actually zoom into something. But
yes, that's right. You're absolutely right. Actually, there's if you pretend to put a picture in, isn't there?
No, if you're going down to Street View.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can show you.
Okay.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
So it works. Unfortunately, it doesn't work very well. You only get a few degrees less. So you put yourself with the Street View somewhere there, and then you can actually use that tool over here to zoom into it.
That's true. Good point.
I mean, it's not really useful because the resolution is still crappy.
Yeah.
But it's at least it's a little bit,
It gets the proportions right, I suppose. Something like that. You can get that. Yes, that's good. Yeah. Excellent.
That's actually a major complaint I have about Google Earth. They're missing a virtual telescope where you can actually simulate a zoom function where you can see like the angular diameter of what you're looking at. That is missing
from a particular view. Yeah.
I mean, a scale on the top side of the image would be completely sufficient as soon as you're going into the Street View mode. Like if you were on the ground, you would get a scale over here from, let's say, south to west over here from like 180 to 270 degrees. That would be awesome.
Yeah, would. Still, we can't really complain. This is an amazing step forward. When I first saw this, I thought it was absolutely amazing to be able to do this. It means that we can do things like, invalidate people like Anthony's ridiculous claims just by going to this and doing most amazing stuff. I think it's just, so I'm happy. I'm still delighted they provide what they have. It'd just be lovely if they had a zoom function as well. So that was absolutely fantastic, Alex. I think I hadn't got round to fully examining those 4 points, and I got the bearing right as I said actually in the hangout. But finding those 4 blobs, that was a bit of a fiddle, wasn't it? That was
it indeed was. I mean, we tried how many attempts? Three attempts to find it. But we finally got it. So
indeed,
nice.
To an accuracy there, fantastic. Well, nothing's worth it if you don't have to try it. You have to make a bit of effort, does it? So
yes. Actually, I just saw that Anthony messaged me. He wants us to identify another building. So I just asked him whether he wants to show us which one in the picture, if he actually wants to join.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear my keyboard?
Yep.
All right, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. It's not very loud. It's quite quiet actually. But yes, I mean that'll teach me. I mean, I made those 4. Well, those places were 4 claims. But I just got the bearing right. But I hadn't checked the height, so I thought I was a bit unhappy about bits of it already. This blob here, particularly, I couldn't see what the hell that was. But that's fantastic. Oh well, we make little mistakes along the way. But I didn't express 100% confidence. Only thing I was completely confident about was the bearing, and I said that. But to get that within a couple of meters is just brilliant, and that's with standard refraction. So we're not even having to fiddle with standard refraction to do this. And of course, it's really great. I think Alex, that we sort of said, we've got 25-meter error here. That we need to do something about that.
I mean, like the 5 or 10 meters that we might get might be due to refraction, but the 25 that we have are definitely
that's too much.
There's definitely a difference in there that we have to account for.
Yeah. So to get it within 2, I mean, so it seems to me that this day of Alex, once now we've identified that Anthony was actually at 33 meters plus, adding in some bits and bobs for hot tide and things. It seems to me we don't have to do anything but have standard refraction. There's nothing special we have to do whatsoever to get everything to work. And we've already identified with Alex and I, have people watching, we've identified the house, if I'm still screen showing here, the house down here in Balla Canal, the big one. We've got the height of that right within a few meters. We've even got the size of it, the width of it correct to a few meters, because Alex reminded me with the angle of it what that should be. So I didn't have to worry about, because I had a 25% error in the size of this blob, and it was worrying me like crazy, because I'd lose street view to see the width of it. And then once, of course, you turn around, of course, when looking at an angle, that problem goes away and it becomes exactly correct. So that was another 25% error that I wasn't happy with. And we had the 25% error in what we thought was the height of that thing, and now, wow.
Yeah. Then furthermore, we've identified now we've definitely identified the forest. I mean,
Yes.
There's no way to go around the storm damage being identical to what we see, first of all, in Google Earth and here in the picture.
Yeah, and we can now identify this farm exactly.
Actually, can you see the piece of forest directly over Balla Canal?
This bit here, you mean?
Yeah, it might also be a smaller forest, because
it's got sort of straight edges, hasn't it? Yeah, there's an odd straight edge there, isn't there?
By smaller, I mean the trees appear to be not as tall.
Yes, and that's right, because that's where the community forest is, wasn't it, on Google Earth that I was looking at?
Yes, pretty much, I think.
Can I check on Google Earth where that was? Yes, that's right. Indeed, that is that's right. Just almost on the same bearing, indeed, of just the White House. Yes, exactly, almost exactly above that White House is the left-hand tip of the thing. So yeah, that is indeed. Yeah.
So we got that one as well. We have identified Balla Canal now. Definitely, pretty much every single important building in there. We've got the 4 houses. We got the farm. We've got the forest. That's pretty much it.
It is. That's pretty good. I'll have to prepare a little presentation on that. All that stuff. That's quite a lot of meaty information there. Well done, Alex. That was good. That was very enjoyable to work that. Yes, I was a bit worried in places, thinking, "Oh God, what's going on?" Because I really thought those 4 houses identified. They looked such good candidates, and I'd even checked the angular separation.
They indeed do. That's true.
They were very close to that, but unfortunately under the water. So that's annoying.
All right. What I usually do at the end of my Hangouts is to give the link to a few friends of mine, like Microblog.
Fine. Yeah,
everybody. Do you want to join? Do you want to stay, or do you want to? Sure. Okay.
I've been enjoying this. Yes, so I can make some time elsewhere.
And usually at the end, my Hangouts become some sort of random clusterfuck just to warn you.
That's okay. Yeah, just okay, Alex.
So I just head out some links.
That's fine. I better find out, while you're doing that, I'll go and find out who's been trying to telephone me.
So, actually, Riley, fuck it. Micro. Nope. Who else wants to join? Tony. Yeah, sure. Give me a second. Do you have me in Google Hangouts? Yeah, whatever. I'll just send it to your YouTube channel, okay? So if you don't know how to do this, you go to your YouTube page and then go for the Creator Studio. And in there, there's a tab called Community, and then in there you find the messages. So who else wants to join? Spurs wants to join, whatever.
Oh boy, I get to explain how balance works.
Hey, Micro.
Oh. Let's see if I want to talk to Mr. I only have 5 senses. I want to hear how it is not to be able to feel pain or hunger.
Temperature.
Temperature, yeah, that too.
Or just basic. He falls over his own feet all the time because apparently his inner ears don't work.
Well, he would be doing that either way because he wouldn't also not have a proprioception, which is the sense of your body position. Like that's the reason why you know where your fingers are when you have them, even if you can't see them.
All right, so Bool, I've also sent you the link so you can join. So, Micro, you didn't really know in the beginning of this hangout.
No, but luckily someone explained it to me. So.
All right, so yeah, you know the deal.
Hey guys, awesome presentation, guys.
Yes.
Like always, very good. Enjoyed it.
Thanks. I think, Tony, I think you have to turn down your speakers a little bit. I think I was hearing myself.
Oh.
Like it wasn't bad, but I barely noticed.
I didn't hear anything,
but whatever. Better do it so it doesn't get annoying for me. So as said, Bool, you should have the link.
Let's try these headphones.
Dr. Jonas, I think at this point we're pretty sure that the buildings we've identified are the correct ones.
Yes. Are these headphones better?
They appear to be, yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome.
Hey, Gio.
Hey.
Hey, Gio.
Hi, guys.
By the way, you guys do not have to worry about me being a fluffer.
Hopefully.
Good.
I think at this point we've dealt with enough fluffers at this point.
Earth is split because of scissors.
Have you guys today seen? Have you seen Nathan Oakley's hangout? They're getting worse by the day.
Who?
Yeah, I was
Oakley.
in it.
Forgive me if I do not know this.
He's an idiot. That's all you need to know.
He's Anthony Riley's retarded brother.
Not biological, but mentally.
Yeah, I think.
Don't you mean Ann Dummy Riley? Don't you mean Ann Dummy Liley?
That's a bit weak.
I went in there once. I couldn't handle it. It was just like, it's the stupid. It burned so bad.
Well, apparently, at some point, Riley wanted to discuss something with me in one of his hangouts. I'm still not sure why or what.
He did. I remember that. He did.
Micro?
Hmm?
I at least want to get onto a hangout with Chisholm. That way, eventually, I can just start launching swear words at the computer screen. Because he infuriates me that much. No joke.
They all do that.
I don't think we'll get a spur. That's sad. I wanted to talk about census with him. That would be fun.
I've sent Spur the link, so he.
Yeah, but he hasn't seen it.
Spurskimo?
Spurskimo.
Yes.
He was in the chat and saying a bunch of shit about census. He said that he wasn't that because he wasn't able to sense the Earth moving. It couldn't be, and he wanted to trust his senses. So Jared asked him which of his senses he was using, and Spurs
he was not using his common sense, that's for sure.
All right, Spur just messaged me. He wants to come in. He's just currently making his dinner, so maybe in the next 20-30 minutes he'll be here.
Oh wait, so maybe one of the 5 senses he thinks he has is hunger, or maybe he just. You really shouldn't be making your own dinner if you can't feel temperature or pain.
Yeah.
Like, isn't technically every single cell type that you have for censoring anything another sense?
Yeah, I think.
If you wanted to go with that, then technically, like you could also say that every single type of receptor you have is technically another sense.
Yeah, all right. That's fair.
Well, a family of receptor more.
And that's like over 10.
It's the guy who doesn't understand rockets.
This is also
I
a guy.
actually had the joy of talking to Spurskimo, I think, twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah, once in one of my hangouts, and I think once on Red's channel. Oh, for fuck's sake. That'll be fun.
Well, he's also of multi Tomtom's ilk, Geo, because he was talking about how GPS was land based, and he said satellites hung from balloons. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's actually less retarded than what multi Tom said.
Well, yeah,
Because
multi
in
Tomtom
fact,
thinks.
he didn't say anything. He just said it's pre-programmed, and that's it.
Yes, that made me so mad, Gio. He kept on saying it's pre-programmed. He didn't get that you're asking him, well, okay, it's pre-programmed, but there is data in there that's relaying to each other. What is it?
Yeah, in retrospective, I should have asked him that when he wakes up in the morning, how does he actually determine where he is? It isn't pre-programmed into him. He just has to look around himself to find out where he is.
That's a good point.
And,
that is a good point.
The smartphone must do the same thing.
Right.
Basically, it's looking for orientation points. First of all, it's looking obviously for the cell phone grid, and then after that, it's looking for GPS.
Right. If you fall asleep and I come in and I pump you full of Versed and then move you to another location and you wake up, how do you determine where you are?
Yeah, he would just be lost.
He would be lost. He would have no
looking at
clue.
the sun. What's going on?
I just woke up and I know it. I just wake up and I know it. Because it's pre-programmed.
Well, it does. If you were to knock me out and then move me somewhere, it does depend on where you move me, because you could accidentally move me to somewhere I already know.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, but
I'm at grandma's house.
if you wake up, you could watch the sun. You could figure out how to get somewhere like civilization at some point. You could use
By using your photoreceptors.
right. You could use your senses to do that, and that's exactly what GPS is. It's the phone senses, basically. It's akin to that.
Yeah, it's one of them. I mean, the smartphone at this point contains like a dozen sensors. It has at least 2 cameras. It has an acceleration sensor. It has the GPS. It has the cell phone connection. What else do we have?
A calculator that
Wi-Fi.
you can do triangulation.
The camera,
Temperature.
the mic.
Yeah, I said the cameras. 2 cameras.
Oh, the microphone.
Yeah, the microphone. Right.
You can even use the Wi-Fi IP to find out where it's at.
Yep.
To some degree.
Yeah. The internet sense.
And when it gets too hot, it'll put a flash on the screen saying too hot.
That is true. It does also has a temperature sensor. But you will notice one thing it doesn't have. It also has touch screen and fingerprint, which is the best
Fingerprint,
technology.
I was gonna say that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But the fingerprint,
It has
and
facial
the touch,
analysis.
same technology.
And a
Yeah,
pedometer.
but the facial analysis, at least in some devices, is based on the cameras. Like for
Yeah.
example, in the Windows phones, we have this system called Windows Hello, and that works by basically having two front cameras.
I thought
Checking your
Windows Hello worked by isn't that infrared, because you can trick it with the infrared, or you used to. be able to.
You can. It's using infrared wavelengths, but it's using the same camera as the smartphone used for chatting.
Oh, so it's just very close to visible. Okay, but
Yeah, it's not another system. It's literally the same.
yeah, but
thing.
no, but like there is in
Yo,
cameras.
Micro, we've got the guy.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and
He's here. I've been waiting.
Tell us about your senses.
So Spurs, you have to first of all welcome, and second of all, you have to unmute yourself.
I was waiting for to unmute. I can talk while he's muted.
Hello. Good afternoon.
There we go.
Hello.
How are we this afternoon?
A little bit tired, but all in all,
Elated.
fine, I guess.
Elated by some very productive work there.
Are you still discussing the shape of the Earth? Are you still not convinced that it's flat, not moving, and that we have a dome?
I want to know. I want you to answer Jared's
You're
question.
still not convinced about this.
Why-
Yeah, of course you're not.
I'm not.
Have you seen a sunset, Spurs?
The sun does not set. We've proved this many times. How many times?
You don't think it goes
From the
over the
bottom of it
horizon?
does, sir.
You don't think it goes over the horizon then? Doesn't go below the horizon?
No, Rumpus. We've had experiments where people have followed the sun, and the sun does not go down. It does not go up.
Yeah, I mean, when you
It does not go down.
Pause for a minute for the trolls.
It does not go down. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So
Oh,
when
the
it
sun
goes
is
below the
always
horizon, it doesn't go below the horizon.
So the sun is always up.
When
Got
it goes
it.
below the
Night
horizon.
is a myth.
Yeah, you
Cool.
can mock, you can ridicule, but we have proof.
But it doesn't go below the
Demonstrate
horizon.
to
Name-
you
name
that
one.
The sun is
Dark
local.
outside right
I
now.
can demonstrate to you that the sun is local. It's near. It's not very far away. It rotates around.
Bullshit. So
So
Jupiter
wait,
goes in front
stop,
of the sun.
stop, everyone. So Spurs, how far do you think the sun is?
Away.
I think it's between something like 6,000 and 3,000. It's hard to say.
Well,
Is
you're
there
saying
more
it,
than
you
one?
should be able to identify at least.
No, because I'm not a scientist. I'm not out there in the field with the tools and the devices to make these, these measurements. And
I'm sorry,
the
but
people
you
that
just,
do
you,
have
you
these
just gave
devices
you just gave a
deception alive.
difference of the values of 50%. I mean, I can use for triangulation of the sun, of the altitude
But
of the sun.
I didn't hold on. So I just came in so you know that I'm here. I'm actually in the middle of preparing my dinner, but I'll be here in and out.
All right, so then
I just didn't want to leave you
discuss
kind of
this later, okay?
And with nothing to do. So yeah, I'm still involved. But I mean, these trolls, Gio, you're gonna have to kind of, if you want a discussion here, if you want to understand that the Earth is not spinning, if you want to understand that the Earth is.
But you don't
has no
understand science,
curvature.
but you don't understand any of the arguments you're offering, and you're denying in front of us that the sun goes below the horizon. I mean,
Science, Rumpus. Science has no place in reality because it tries to explain. Rumpus.
Science is all about
100 years
understanding
ago.
reality.
Rumpus, stop.
Reality.
Rumpus. Science 100 years ago was different to the science today. Science
No, it's
100
not.
years. Science 100 years in front will be different to what it is today. So
No.
we
It only
can't
gets more
take.
accurate, Spurs.
There isn't no
Spurs.
science. Once it's a fact, it's a fact. It's not science. So if fire is hot, it's hot.
What the
If water
fuck?
is wet, it's
Yeah.
wet.
What?
You don't
Spurs,
explain.
do
You
you
don't
understand?
sit there
Spurs,
explaining
stop.
to
Do
the
you
world
understand?
why it's hot, why
Spurs,
it's wet.
stop, everyone. Please stop. Spurs, do you understand that the measurements, the tools we have to do them today are much more precise than the stuff we had 100 or maybe just 50 years ago? Our
the
measurements,
tools we have today are more
are getting more precise over time because our technology improves. And
but what I'm saying, but Gio, you're missing
everything
the
we
point
have
here.
regarding measurement tools to determine the shape of the planet shows that it's a sphere, and not only that it's not a perfect sphere, but we can actually determine the degree or the how oblate it is, and the error in there, the error bar, is shrinking constantly. This is not what we see with flat earthers, because first of all, you still don't have a model after whatever time. There's always some flaw in there, and flat earthers, even between them, don't agree on what is the case and what not.
Well, can I just clarify this? Hold on. This is what I need. Yeah, but Gio, you've just spoken for like 3-4 minutes here. Hold on. Let me just clarify.
That was 20 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, let me clarify.
You don't even know time.
About the flat Earth. The flat earthers are resorted to flat Earth because we don't know what Earth looks like. We're going by what we see. Yes, it could be a triangle. It could be a we don't know, but we're going by the observations that we can
We have pictures
with our own 2 eyes. Okay. Until we have
but our eyes are fucking
until we have a
unprecise.
technology to go high enough to see the shape of the Earth, we have to go with what we sense.
We have pictures.
We don't sense movement. We don't see curvature. So until we can
What do you mean we
prove
don't
this
see
with
curvature? Just
advanced
look at a boat over
technology,
the horizon, you moron.
the point is that
Spurs,
until we can
Spurs.
prove this, the whole point of 1969 moon landing was to show people, well, here's a photo of Earth. It's a spinning ball.
We are not talking about the moon landing. Let's just say that the moon landing.
So this is what I'm saying here. You're trying to prove the Earth with science. This is not how you.
Let's
should
just
go
say,
about.
for the sake of argument, let's say for the sake of argument that everything that NASA is doing is completely fake. Okay, let's just say that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, everything, all the measurements we are using do not rely on any data we get from any kind of authority. We can do this stuff ourselves. We can go into planes and basically hold a smartphone out the window and check on how much the horizon is dropping. This is stuff we can do ourselves. And the better the tools we have, the better tools we use, the more precise this actually gets.
Yeah, but after further investigation, we realized that the ballers cannot be relied upon when observing the horizon. 500 years ago, you said ships are going over the horizon, and we realized that that wasn't the case.
What do you mean it's not the case?
The same argument is ensuing because you same ballers are looking at the horizon and making all kinds of, guesstimates and ideas.
We've got videos of ships going at the horizon, you idiot.
What is actually happening at the horizon?
My
it takes
God.
a flat earther to explain the reality of the horizon.
Yeah,
You're saying it's a
because
balancing point.
there's some sort of fault in your wiring in your brain. That's why only you can.
No, as I said to you, 500 years ago, they said, look, ship's going over the horizon, so they accepted that. And they didn't have telescopes to see that you could bring it back. Now that
but
we
you
can
can't.
bring it back,
But you
you
can't.
guys still say...
You can't. All the horizon footage that flat earthers always do is when a boat or a ship or whatever is only right at the horizon. When you actually go further back, like when let's say the horizon is 5 miles away.
Okay, so for example, Gio,
Stop,
so you're looking at the horizon.
Just make my argument, goddammit.
What's that?
When you have a flat earther video, a typical one,
Yeah.
and they're looking at a boat at the horizon.
Yeah.
What they usually do is zoom into it and completely disregard the fact that the angular resolution of the camera is shrinking because you're zooming out. This is something they forget. And when you zoom back in, obviously the angular resolution is going up. However, what they don't do is let a boat disappear over the horizon, while the angular resolution is still high enough to actually spot it, then zoom back in and see it again, because this is not possible.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. So you said that when you zoom in, you cannot bring that ship back in. Yes.
Correct.
If
it's over the horizon.
Hold on.
If it's over the horizon,
have this out with Gio, because I want to see how he understands it. Yes.
All right.
Up and chime in. So Gio, you're saying that the ship, it disappears over the horizon. You cannot bring that ship back. So let's say you're 6 foot. You're 6 foot.
I understand your argument.
Horizon, the ship disappears. You zoom in. You're saying that you cannot bring back that ship, yes?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the term disappear. There's a difference in disappearing because it's too small to be seen by the camera because of the camera's angular resolution, and disappearing because it dips over the horizon. Those are two different things, which you seem to be mixing up.
When is that point? Let's differentiate. Let's separate the two. When is that point when it can't be brought back because of curvature?
You can actually calculate that. And it depends on your viewer, right? And it depends on the size of the boat.
Yeah, so the point is we get to that point, we zoom in, we can't bring it back. If we were to follow a line of sight through that horizon to the boat, what is beyond that what we can't see with that line of sight?
Well,
that what we can't see, that what we can't zoom through, what is beyond that?
Well, wait, we're zooming the max into the horizon,
yeah, the
right?
maximum zoom, but we can't zoom any further. I want to know, with the same line of sight, what is beyond that, what we can't see?
Atmosphere? I don't know what your exact point is.
Yeah, it would be atmosphere, it would be space, right? So you would continue that line of sight, it would continue into space, yes?
Yeah.
On the long term, yes.
It would be a tangent, basally.
Yeah, indeed, it's a tangent, and if you extrapolate,
the line of sight
doesn't
change angle; it goes straight forward.
It's a plane. It's a plane, Spurskimo. Your line of sight is a plane. Yes.
I mean, you got debunked on this yesterday, and I don't know why you're bringing it up again.
How did I get debunked there, Tony?
Well, you brought this up every time you come
I
on the show,
brought
and
this
you
up
always get told
offline, and I bring this line online. Now you explain to me how I was debunked. You explain, Tony.
You always bring up this whole.
So we're waiting for your explanation, Tony. How did I get debunked?
From behind.
How do you explain what?
Now hold on. I want Tony to explain how I was debunked.
No, I just did. I say you always bring this up, and you never.
So I get debunked by always bringing this up because I don't get debunked. So you explain to me how I was debunked. Hold on, Rumpus. Let's Tony explain how I was debunked.
Just the fact that you bring it up and are dumb enough to do it is debunking enough for me. Whatever. Go on to.
Yeah, but that's not an explanation of how I was debunked. You're explaining
Good,
that I
fine,
bring it
whatever.
up
Why do you
every
always
time.
bring this
I'm
up,
asking
though?
you how I was
Always bring this
debunked.
up.
First, can you please do me a favor and look at the picture that the Rumpus is sharing right now?
So there's the CN Tower, and oops, that's what it's actually. If you go to take a pictures of it, or look at it on Google Earth, that's what it should look like. But oh dear, we're missing all this underwater, and no matter how good your camera is, it's not going to show that. And this avoids the problems about the boat being too far or too small, because we can see it all the time. So this is a very good example. Avoids all the problems about whether or not it's too small to be seen.
Well, then it just shows that this is not the true horizon then.
What do you mean not the true horizon, you moron? We can see
I've shown many times.
Boats on this,
if
you
pay
idiot.
attention,
That
it's, I told you that borders
You're claiming that's not the horizon.
Where the true horizon is.
That's where the water is. If we have, but we
it appears that way.
People have
those distances.
We have videos of things traveling along this water and then disappearing down. And so this is definitely the water. This is definitely the horizon. And oh look, it's
what are you going to say? You're going to say it disappears down and then reappears back up?
No.
No.
It disappears from the bottom up, but I'm showing you claim this.
So if a boat was to disappear over that horizon, Rumpus, we should never see it again.
Correct.
At this elevation.
Correct.
And in order to see that boat again, you would have to look down from this position.
Oh,
which doesn't happen.
What?
Are you serious?
There's a wall of water in the way.
On a basketball?
There's a wall of water in the way.
Hold on, Tony wants to say something. Say it again, Tony.
There's a wall of water.
On the case again.
By
saying I explained it
Hold on, Spurs. There is a wall of water that's obstructing this building, and no matter what you do with a camera, you're never ever going to see it again. It's obstructed by a wall of water.
If a boat was to go down this horizon that you're talking about, what is the outcome? What would happen? It should go down.
Imagine there's a boat here where this bird is, and it went over here, and it went towards the top, and it went over the horizon. You could never see it again once it was over the horizon.
Yeah, show your the other picture where you did the hologram back and forth. So you're saying that the bird would have to fly down from that horizon to the bottom of those buildings?
No, because down is measured to the center of the Earth. It would be exactly the same height. Anyway,
no, we're not talking about that kind of down. You're confusing the ballers and the flat earthers. We're not talking about kind of down to the center of the Earth. We're talking about
that is
like
the
a
only
diagonal down, like you're looking down the stairs, Rumpus. Very, very simple thing.
Stop.
Down is the direction that gravity pulls things. That is down.
Yeah, Rumpus wants us to believe that the bottom of those buildings is below that horizon. So anything that is below means that they have to go down to that.
No, that is not correct. That is not correct.
Because then you have serious problems with your model and ball, because that's how everybody understands it.
This is false.
I explained
this is false. I'm sorry, Rumpus. Please let me try this.
You try.
First of all, Spurs. Do you prefer Spurs or Spur? Whatever. You understand that all the
makes
points...
you feel comfortable, Gio?
Okay. You understand that all the points that are directly on water level have the same potential energy in the...
you never understand that.
In the gravitational field of the planet. You understand that, right?
Right. What is it you're trying to show me here?
That is yes or no. First of all, I want to make sure if you understand what we are actually talking about.
Yeah, why? That's what I'm asking you. Clarify.
No, I'm sorry. You're answering a question with a question. Say yes or no. Do you understand it or not?
Understand what exactly?
That every point on the surface, on the water surface, has the same potential energy.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Why?
He doesn't understand that.
Okay, I'm listening. Okay, yeah. What is this?
He's a moron.
Are you trying to prove something?
Alex, he doesn't know what potential energy is. He doesn't know what energy is. I mean, he's a moron.
So no, let me try this.
Who has been unable to show curvature. You've been unable to show spin.
I've shown it to you.
I've been able to show that we're not rotating. I've been able to show that we're not. There is no curvature. That shows more around here can be only one person who's able to show and provide the people with what they want. Nathan asked you many times. Anthony's asked you many times. You've been unable to provide.
Map that I can't.
Let us do this step by step, because it's very important that we actually understand the same thing when we're talking about the word down. Now,
right?
When we're talking on a ball, right? On a ball that is formed by gravity and where you feel gravity at its surface.
Mhm.
You understand that down always is going into the direction towards the center of the planet, okay?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
that can be
understand
one
that.
way. Yeah.
Okay. And you understand that the water always tries to have the same potential energy on the surface of the water, right?
Right. Okay.
Because otherwise it would be flowing, which it isn't.
Okay. So go ahead.
Okay, great. So if you're now saying that the boat is going down, are you talking relative to the gravitational field? Or are you talking about going down relative to the observer position?
To the observer. The observer would see that the boat is going down from the horizon. That's what you would expect.
All right. Okay, great. Because I think there was a little bit of confusion in here on what you were actually meaning when you're talking about the word
just
down.
just give us what we provide, and then the confusion would be at a minimum. You see?
Okay.
We want to see curvature. We are seeing things that we're not supposed to be seeing.
No, we're not. We're seeing everything was fine. What we're seeing.
Those buildings you're not supposed to see.
I was wrong. I incorrectly identified those buildings. We just had a hangout, Alex and I. We've identified that I pointed out the wrong buildings, and we've now found the right ones. Everything seems to be fine.
Yeah,
All
there's
cool.
Sorry about that.
buildings on the Isle of Man are now correctly
We'll have to
identified.
look at
Yeah,
what you've done, Rumpus. You've just changed, and with Paul's track record, we can't trust these things.
Paul's record's fine.
Paul's track record is
Gio?
absolutely fine.
Yes?
Sorry about that. My net took a complete swan dive.
Into the table.
Probably because what we were listening to is so stupid.
Right, I just wanted to point this out.
I find the argument very stupid as well, actually, because it can't
Spurs,
provide.
you don't understand
something. I
maths.
really
You
don't understand why
science.
people are.
And
even
I'm about to show you what down means and what
You
you
need to
mean
show.
by.
You need to
I'm
show
about
us
to show you what
more.
down
You need to show us
means.
curvature, and if you
Spurs,
can't
I'm
do
about
that,
to show you what down
we are able to provide
Spurs,
you
I'm
with
about
what
to
you
show you
can't
what
see.
down means. You
So,
might
wait,
learn something
stop.
here.
No,
Spurs,
but we just
we
clarified
stop
down.
talking
Down
about
is from the observer.
All right, Spurs. So you should be able then to tell me, given a certain height of a certain boat and a certain distance to that boat and a certain observer height, when actually does that boat disappear? When does it do it? What is the necessary distance?
Yeah, and that's the point I'm asking. Once it has disappeared. And
No,
it has
sorry.
disappeared-
No. Stop. You're already
No, but
going
the distance is not.
going
The
in another
distance is not
direction.
important for me. This is not important for me. What is important is what is beyond that what you can't see. So you could
Well-
say 20 miles. You could say 1 mile. I want to know what is beyond that line of sight.
I can show you.
Going
here.
into
And we've had Lewis. He told
have
us
a diagram.
space. We had Everett.
Diagram
He
here.
told us space.
I have
Let
a
me do
diagram
it
here
again.
to show
I'm
you.
sorry.
And I just want to hear from Gio that it's either space or more land. What is it?
Rumpus. Please let me try this. I need with the Spurs. We need to go really, really slow, and I think I can
Yeah,
handle this.
you need to go slower, Alex. He doesn't understand half the things you're saying. He doesn't understand what down is. He thinks that it's the below the line of sight that hits the horizon. So you've got to get
As
these basic
everybody
All
else
right,
sorted
so-
out.
up and down.
so Spurs,
Rumpus, up and down. You look up and you look down. Very
I
simple
understand,
things.
Spurs, but what I want to know
Children
is,
understand this.
what I
You
want to
don't
know
know.
is, we have a model that works pretty accurately, using only the data of how far away are you from that boat, how high is the observer height, and how tall is that boat actually. When we have those data points, we can predict to a very accurate degree when that boat is going to disappear. That is only using geometry and a globe model. What I want to hear from you, or what I would like to hear from you is, do you have a similar mathematical model that can be used to determine when that boat is going to disappear based on a flat surface?
Well, the system that you're using doesn't work because
Does
we are
work.
finding that we
It
see.
does work.
Yeah, but you're saying that
But-
you have a system to calculate when things.
All right, let's just
and I'm saying
say for the sake of argument that even that we can't do it. Okay.
Right.
Let's just say we wouldn't be able to do it. We are, but let's just say for the sake of argument, we aren't.
Mhm.
Even if our model is completely false,
Mhm.
how do you prove yours? Where does your model predict that the boat should disappear?
We've never claimed We've never claimed to have a model.
Yeah,
We've never
therefore you-
claimed flat Earth. We've claimed that the ball is a lie, and we go with what we're left
Sorry,
with, which is a flat
I'm
Earth.
sorry. As soon as you say you think that flat Earth is the case, you are making a model. It might not be
No,
very
that's
precise.
that's where the misconception comes from, Gio. This is what I've came on to explain, that because we say flat Earth, We
Yes,
say
as soon-
flat
as
Earth
soon as
because
you
it's
say
all
that
we're
you have a
left
model.
with. We're not coming from the perspective of we
Can I
wasn't
say
born.
something here?
We wasn't born with flat Earth in our mind. So we have the model. We have how the
Can I say
seasons work. It's not like that. We've come from a
Spurskimo.
position of hold on. We thought we were on a spinning ball. So if we're not on a spinning ball and there's no curvature, where are we? So then therefore we have to now at this point trust ourselves, trust our senses. And our senses tell us that we're not moving and there is no curvature.
Have
So
you been on
until we, have
aeroplanes,
technology,
Spurs?
until we have a technology
Have you
to,
been
or
on an aeroplane,
intelligent
Spurs?
enough
Do you feel
to
as though
create a
you're traveling
rocket or
500
create a
miles an
device
hour?
to show us, then it's the theory, isn't it? It's theory, and we should go with our senses. That's all we're saying.
You've been on an aeroplane, Spurs, going at 500 miles an hour. Do you feel as though you're doing 500 miles an hour, or do you walk around and behave normally in aeroplanes as you do on the ground?
No, but I know I'm moving though.
Answer the question.
Yeah, I know I'm moving.
You know you're moving, but
You know it, but
why
do
do
you
you
feel
know
it?
you're moving?
Yeah, but
Do you
why
feel
are you
that
asking me
moving?
how fast? It's like if you touch the fire, how hot was that fire? Well, I don't know. I just know it's hot.
No.
I'm asking
do you
ridiculous
actually-
questions.
in-
Is
in
the
a
water wet?
constantly-
How wet
in a
is that
bird.
water?
in a
How
constantly
fast is that
moving
plane?
object?
These are the
Spurs,
questions that the
Spurs.
ballers think of to try and manipulate
No,
normal people.
No. Wait a
How
How
second.
fast is that
Spurs,
plane? How hot is that
Hold on a
fire? How
second,
wet is
everybody.
that water? These are
Spurs.
ridiculous questions.
You
Stop.
moron.
Spurs,
Well,
stop.
there is a temperature
I
fire.
got one question for him.
Fuck's
Just one.
sake. Stop, everybody. Spurs, you know that if you're moving with a constant rate, let's just say you're sitting in an airplane, right? But you don't know that you're in an airplane. Okay?
Right.
You have your eyes covered. You don't hear anything because somebody plugged your ears.
Mhm.
How can you determine? And by the way, that plane is like really flying really smoothly. You don't feel any rattling or anything. Okay?
Mhm.
How do you know that you're in an airplane?
Yeah, but then you're removing my senses, yeah?
No.
You're removing my awareness. Yes, but
This
I'm
is not-
aware
no,
right
this is
now.
not-
I'm on
this
the
is not
earth and I'm
correct. This is
aware
not
of everything. Again, you ballers are trying to put us in situations where we have to think,
Spurskimo.
okay, so he's removed our senses.
Spurs, you forgot that you have some senses that I did not cover. For example, your actual acceleration sense. If you're being accelerated in a car, for example.
Well, what do you know then? I
feel
need all
that.
my senses to work out if I'm moving or what's
Nope.
going on.
Nope.
What do you know?
Well,
Stop trying to
Alex,
put me in a situation
Alex,
stop
you
trying
don't need
to
to
put me in a
remove-
situation where I'm
Alex,
tricked.
all you need to do is to cover the portholes in the aeroplane and let's say it's smooth, and then you don't.
But
need
then,
to move any of
then
your
it means that
senses.
you're covering my senses. You're trying
No,
to.
no.
Didn't cover all your senses.
We haven't changed any of your
no,
senses
can
at
I-
all.
No, you're dampening my senses. That's what.
No,
you're
we
trying
haven't
to do.
changed your senses at all.
Spurs, can I ask Spurs something? Spurs, do you think people who were born both deaf and blind are unable to sense when someone pushes them?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, fair enough.
What?
No, I don't think he meant to say what he did.
Well, of course they can feel when someone
Yeah,
pushes
no,
them. Their senses
you
are
answered in the negative. So yeah, you were
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
I think he's responded incorrectly. I think he meant to say the other.
He did mention
In
that.
all fairness, I got one question for you, Spurs. Just one.
Yeah.
For now, anyway.
Sure.
My
Do you
question
feel
is
lucky,
this.
Monk?
Please, let me talk. I got one question. If you don't know something,
Mhm.
why do you make an assumption about anything? Why do you not go out and try to make a determination about what is real using your own null hypothesis and attempting to find the truth and coming up with an experiment that eliminates possibilities? Because to me, that would be the
Hold on,
best-
you just asked the question. Yeah. So
that would be
right now,
wait,
we
let me
don't
finish.
have,
Let me
right
finish,
now-
Spurs. Let me
yeah,
finish.
hold on. I'm not answering a two-part question. Let's just do this.
Spurs, let him
Let me
finish.
finish, because to me that would be the best way to determine anything. Because
No,
if I think
stop
if
giving
I don't
advice
think I'm
and
on
just
a
ask the
globe,
question.
if I don't think I'm on a globe, the first thing I'm going to do is say, well, what the hell am I on? Because I don't know if I'm on a globe or what I'm on. I'm not going to make an assumption that I'm on a flat. I might see flat, but I know my senses can be fooled. I can look out and I can see moths on a tree that are the same color as the tree and not see those moths. Chameleons can change their color and fool predators. We are fooled by our senses all
Yeah, so
the
why are you
time.
making the leap without actually verifying where you live then? We haven't verified where we live. Nobody's ever seen it. We haven't seen a spinning ball. We haven't seen curvature, but yet you
We
want to
have.
say
We
we're on a
have.
ball.
I showed you a picture of curvature with that building and the fact that it was missing the bottom bit that can only be accounted for by curvature.
I never said anything about make believe anyway. I said, why don't you make up your experiment and find out? Use your
He's a
head.
moron. He doesn't know what an experiment is. He's a moron.
Man has been on this plane, and you're asking me now to make an experiment to determine where we live.
Yeah.
If that hasn't happened already, then I don't think that I'm going to have much hope. You need.
Do you not
funding,
think it has happened? Do you not think it has happened?
Yeah, they've tried. They've tried to send rockets into space, but we can't get high enough.
I'm talking about other experiments. I'm
There
talking
is
about
no other
older
way.
experiments.
There is no other way to know what something looks like by looking up at the sky or looking down on the floor. You need to get up high enough to look at the whole dimensions, just like we can see the sun or the moon or the stars.
You just said we just pointed out you have other senses. You just said you can know things without all your senses. You just said you could actually use your other senses, like a blind and a deaf person knows when they're pushed. Right. So can we use other bits of information to?
I've just said we're not advanced. No. We're not aliens. We're not like supernatural. We're just human beings.
I never said that. I never said.
Yeah, so we don't have the ability to fly. To go.
We don't need.
Right. So what are you talking about? We need technology.
We don't need to fly.
We need incredible.
We don't need anything.
Incredible minds.
Rockets.
We don't need anything but a couple yardsticks to do this.
No, again, that's ancient ideas, ancient thought that's failed miserably. No one's going to buy that in this new world that we're moving towards.
So what?
That's ancient technology. Sticks.
It doesn't matter. Sticks. We measure things with sticks all the time. When we build our houses, do we not use measuring tapes and measuring sticks?
Right. So you use measuring things, not sticks.
Are they not capable of measuring distances?
You're trying to keep us in the caveman age with this way.
I'm not. I'm trying to use tools that work.
This is the point. What's your name? I don't know. But this is the point. This is why we're in this argument, because your tools do not work.
Of course,
every time you work.
David, sorry, David. Yeah. So the tools that you're talking about with sticks clearly have failed us for the last 500 years.
How does a yardstick fail to measure a yard?
Right, we're talking about the shape of the Earth here. Whether we
move, it doesn't matter how big the object is. How does a yardstick fail to measure a yard?
Well,
I want you to explain that to me.
Yardsticks have their uses, but not for determining the shape of the Earth.
How do you come to that conclusion?
Because for the last 500 years, David, we've failed to acknowledge or find out where we live. Don't you understand? What do you mean, why, how? For the next 500 years, you want to use sticks as the world moves on with rockets and technology.
What have we failed to do?
You failed to show satellites.
Okay, so you're claiming
to show movement. You failed to show rockets working in space. You failed to show that the moon landers were real. You failed to show anything like this.
You are jumping far ahead of what I'm talking about. You're jumping so far ahead.
Yeah, I'm such a moron because I can't show, because you can't show anything. That's fine.
No, it's because you have
smart, because if you can't show anything and then you have to be a moron because you won't accept what somebody says, and that's fine.
What do you want to see? What do you want to see that's convince you? What would convince you?
Yeah, there should be a 24-hour feed rotation of the Earth. We should see the South and North Pole. We
already have
our sun.
We have a 24-hour feed of the rotation of the Earth. We have it.
We don't see.
We have a 24-hour. We have a 20. Stop. We have a 24/7. We have a 24/7 video, or to be precise, picture.
Yeah, but it's not of the sun. It's of light. We want to see the actual sun.
No, you said of the Earth. We have the Earth spinning live.
Oh yeah, but that's with cuts. That's we don't even have what?
With what?
Yeah, we don't even have 1 hour full without a cut.
No.
Gio, may I ask Spurs some questions?
Let me just try this first. So you understand?
I don't want to be attacked in here, right? I'm just here defending what I believe to be true, and until anyone can show otherwise, that's just the way things are.
I'm sorry. So, if you're defending something, then we are obviously attacking that position. But that's another thing. So
yeah, but I mean, you don't have to.
You understand that we get a picture of the illuminated hemisphere of the Earth every 20 minutes or so from various satellites, right? And those show rotation.
Again, the way that the standpoint that you come from, this is the whole why we're in this mess. When you use the word like satellites, we have photos from Himawari. This is why we're in this mess, because we don't believe any of those things. This is not how you would go about showing the shape of the Earth. It's all CGI. It's all manipulated. This is the whole point.
Okay,
I don't understand why any new baller would even refer to like Himawari or even use the word satellite. We've never seen a satellite.
You can
This
look
is
at the
false.
ISS in the sky, you moron.
You can see the ISS
in the sky
using a
yourself.
camera. You can predict we know the orbit of the ISS. You can predict its position in such an accuracy that you can predict transits of it in front of other celestial bodies, mainly the sun and the moon.
Okay, so
yeah, we can predict.
Let's do this for your next live hangout, all right? We'll predict the ISS. We're going to find it and watch it on your stream.
All right, let's.
I've been saying this for the last 3-4 years. One of you ballers need to get the ISS on a live stream and show us. Why didn't Red show that on the live? No, instead he did.
Oh, you mean the one that Soundly did half a year ago?
And showed something flashing past the moon. This is not what we want. It's not what we're asking for. We want unedited, uncut, unmanipulated footage of Earth, Moon, all together in one. We don't understand. We don't get it. Why do they cut
Earth, Moon, all together in one?
Yeah, but that's it then. If you can't do it in one,
no. First of all, you're talking about two different things here.
As we think. We are still in the caveman days. We're not as smart as we like to think.
I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but you're completely going into another direction. First of all, you were talking about getting actual pictures from satellites.
No. I said from space.
Yeah. That's exactly what you said.
Before you speak about satellites, you have to show me a satellite.
Yeah, and that's what we did various times, namely the ISS, because it's by far the biggest one that we have in orbit. You know why? Because we're sending people up there that actually have to fit in it. And yes, we can use our data to predict the position of the ISS to such a degree that actually can predict transits of it. And we did that also live on YouTube, which you said was impossible. This has been done already.
No. I want one of you, well-inept ballers to track this ISS and show live on camera. There it is. You see? There's the ISS.
That's
never going to happen.
Done.
We've been asking this for the last 3-4 years.
It has been done.
No, it hasn't been done.
Yes, it has.
Not live.
Yes.
Not live.
Spurskimo, I would like to present my screen right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Which one was it? Was that Tornado Pelt? Who was it?
Yeah.
Again, you don't need to be so rude.
All right, you should be screen shared right now.
Do you guys see me?
Not yet. You have to screen share it manually again. Do you know how to do that in Google Hangouts?
I haven't really used this tool first.
All right. So on the top left of the window, of the call window, there's a button. It's a screen with a white arrow on it. Click that. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, that is cool.
Don't let that go too far, though.
Yeah, that gets really trippy really fast.
Okay, so standing from the ground, somebody recording an ISS.
Of course, you're not going to get people there because it's not really over the US, because that's actually one of the best places to film it. Oh, actually, you might actually get people. You see that little white circle there? That's the observational radius for the ISS, which means that approximately 150 million people approximately will be able to see this thing as it transits over.
And I want one. Just show me one to show us live on the Hangout. Please, just one. We don't need a million.
All right.
Why does it have to be live?
I want it to be live so we can all see together in real
words,
time.
It doesn't matter how much evidence we have that's in the past. You're only interested in something is happening live. Everything else doesn't count. You moron.
Yeah, we want it live right now so we can say, look, is that happening right now? We can.
Well, we don't have to be able to do that conveniently sometimes. You moron.
Well, it doesn't matter, Rumpus. Either way, you're not going to give us what we asked for. We expect that from ballers to backpedal.
But the thing is that what you're asking for is ridiculous. And if we didn't have any ISS in space, that doesn't change the fact that the moon is spherical, whether it's there or not, whether we had no satellites.
No, the ISS proves what the ISS does. Proves that the whole space station thing is fabrication.
We can demonstrate curvature. We can measure the curvature with just a few sticks and with a theodolite. You could go and measure it yourself. You could see where the curve was, how far you had to dip. You could go in an airplane. You could climb a mountain. Use the method that the Persian used in the 11th century of looking down from a tall mountain at an angle. He established the radius of the Earth very simply. We know that you can't, for instance, on a flat Earth, see the sun getting the 3 positions on a flat Earth will not give you the same position of the sun. It will only do that on a sphere. and it's quite obvious to me, Spurs, that you're not doing this in a sincere fashion. I used to think you were sincere in your
Well,
stupidity, but
Rumpus
now
has
you're
got to the
stupid,
stage
and
now
you've
where
clearly
ballers
got
are becoming very
an agenda
manipulative,
here to
and they
not
just
listen
excuse
or
after
understand
excuse.
things
That's what
that
it's
you're
like.
told.
You've seen the likes of Nathan, and he's had enough. So I think he's a lot of ballers when you see
Well, you're
flat earthers.
you don't understand the
Speak to a lot of
arguments
flat
made to you
earthers
because you're a
when we
moron.
see this kind of
You've admitted you
excuse
don't
after
understand
excuse
that.
after excuse, and
You
for the
don't
next
understand
2-3 years will be
You
the
don't
same
understand
thing.
half the things you're told
You
because
telling
you're a
us
moron.
we don't
You're
accept it.
ill-educated.
We
Tell me, have
won't
you got
like
an O
it.
level?
It's not
Tell me,
enough.
have you got an O
Hey.
level or GCSE in maths? Have you got
Spurs.
GCSE in
Hello.
maths? Have you got
Stop.
GCSE in maths, Spurs? Have you
Yeah.
got GCSE in maths?
Yeah, I have. What does that have to do with the price of fish? What does that have to do with the shape of the earth?
Okay. Do you know how to use trigonometry?
What does that have to do with the shape of the earth, Rumpus?
You have to use trigonometry to work it out.
No, you don't. This is the thing. Math is not used to prove.
Can you use
Yeah.
trigonometry?
Yeah, it doesn't work. We've shown that it's been debunked.
So you do understand trigonometry?
I
No,
said
he
it's been
doesn't.
debunked. It doesn't
doesn't.
work.
Do you understand trigonometry?
He doesn't understand.
Do you understand?
trigonometry?
It doesn't prove the shape of the
talked
earth.
Yes, but
about-
do you understand trigonometry?
He doesn't.
Yes. So do you understand it?
Do you
don't.
understand
You
trigonometry?
don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
you
We've shown
understand
it
trigonometry?
repeated times. You said that in a triangle with one angle being 90 degrees, the hypotenuse might actually be only the same size as the other one. You said, "quote It looks longer to me." On one of Red's hangouts, you have no clue about trigonometry. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you don't.
because it has nothing to do with the shape of the earth.
So you're now
So
contradicting yourself.
no, you're going back. You just said you know about geometry.
You are contradicting little tosser.
Yeah, I know about trigonometry, but it has nothing to do with the shape of the earth.
You don't. We demonstrated you don't. Geo
Well,
just
you know nothing about trigonometry either. Then, in that case,
What do you mean I don't know about trigonometry?
you don't know anything about anything. You're unable to provide and prove anything.
I'm not
So,
providing
Spurs,
anything. But not to someone who doesn't
stop.
understand
Everybody,
You have
stop,
trigonometry.
please.
hangouts, you have presentations.
Guys,
Alan has a presentation,
guys,
but you don't actually
hello?
show anything. It's
Guys,
diagram after
hey.
diagram, but people want to
Spurs,
see real
stop.
things.
Spurs,
When have you ever shown us a real
Hello?
photograph or a real video?
Spurs.
When?
So you said you know about trigonometry. Can you please?
Yeah,
share
but I don't
your
want to
screen?
discuss. I'm not here to discuss
No,
trigonometry.
I'm sorry. If you're saying you know about it,
Yes, I know about other things, but I'm not here to discuss those things. I'm here to
no,
discuss-
stop. Please share your screen.
Share my screen for what?
Just do it. Please do me
For
that favor.
what?
It's just a 2-minute thing to establish if you actually know geometry.
Yeah. Why do I need to do this? Why do I need to prove this? Will this prove the shape
To
of
show
the
us
earth?
that you actually know what the heck you're talking about.
Yes, but I'm not here to prove about me. This is the problem you're missing out on. It's about
No, I'm
proving the
sorry.
shape of the earth.
Sorry.
You made a claim. You made
Stop.
a claim.
Hey.
Spurs.
I didn't make any claim.
Let me do
You
this.
said you understood trigonometry, you little liar.
You also made that claim that you made a claim that you know about the shape of the earth. So you're lying.
I know exactly. You
May
said
I
you
ask
understood
That's one big
trigonometry.
lie. You said the ISS is real. That's a lie.
No, it's not.
Hello, Spurs. Please share your screen.
Yeah, this is not about me. This is about the shape of the
You
earth.
said you understood
They're gonna make us
trigonometry.
Rumpus, please let me.
We make it about the shape of the earth, and I'm glad to speak about the shape of the earth. This is not about me.
Rumpus, please let me do this.
Okay.
Okay, so
Right, go ahead.
Spurs.
Yes.
So when we are talking about the shape of the Earth,
Mhm.
a very important tool to actually measure its diameter, for example, precisely, is
Mhm.
mathematics.
Well, I think you're wrong. I think you're completely wrong, and this is where you've made a mistake
Holy
so far.
fuck!
This
Can I
far.
please make a point? For fuck's
Let
sake!
Geo finish. You
Oh,
mess.
go ahead then. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So that means that the evidence we're using, or the tools that we're using, include geometry, trigonometry. Okay. And when we are talking about this with you, we actually need to make sure that you have a sufficient knowledge of geometry in order so you can understand what we are actually talking
Well, I
about.
need to make sure that you understand that these things are not necessary to work out where you live. This is why you're in the problem that you're in
I'm
right
sorry,
now. This
sorry.
is why the ballers have a
Please,
lack of understanding because they have been
everybody-
indoctrinated with this trigonometry, with
Everybody,
with this
stop.
science.
You did not
Everybody-
go there first.
Tornado pal. So I'm sorry. Please do me a favor. Everybody but Spurskimo, shut up for like 5 minutes, okay? No matter what happens. Okay,
Yes,
can you
Gio.
maybe mute yourselves so I can see that you guys are muted? Thanks. Micro's muted anyways. All right, that's 5 out of.
I have
Yeah,
a local mute
that's
on
good
my
enough.
mic, Gio.
Just promise me to shut the fuck up. So, Spurs, again, if we are talking about geometry, by the way, Spurs, you don't have to mute yourself.
Yeah, I'm listening. Go on.
Okay. We are using evidence that implies geometry. So when we are talking about our way of proving the shape of the planet, and we're talking about this with you, we need to make sure that you actually understand what we're talking about. And you don't seem to be doing that. You don't seem to understand. No, stop. Stop, please. Let me make my point.
Go on.
And that's why I want to establish or find out right now how much you actually know about geometry. Because if you have no knowledge about it, there's no way you're ever gonna accept any of our points, because you simply will deny it based on your ignorance. And that's why I want to make just a 1-minute test to find out how much about geometry you know. So please share your screen. I promise you it will be over in 30 seconds.
Debunking the ball without the use of trigonometry. I've shown that there is.
Please do me a favor.
Yeah, but this is a flat earth debate.
I promise it will be over in 30 seconds. If you just follow my instructions, it will be over in 30 to 40 seconds, okay?
Yes.
I promise. So please share your screen.
Again, this is not about me.
Share your screen.
Gia, I'm not going to make this about me. I refuse. This is about the shape of the
I'm sorry.
earth.
As soon as you join this hangout, you practically agree that your views will be attacked. Because
they can be attacked.
You
can attack my views all you like, but this is not about me. I'm not going to make this about me. I'm going to make this about the shape of the earth.
Yes, and to find out if you're actually able to talk about it.
Well, I've been very able.
Sorry, you did it again.
It's bigger than ever. So yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
How do I know that?
Because flat Earth has grown. People have joined. People are listening. People are aware. That's how you can be aware. That's how you determine if somebody is wrong in this situation.
How do I know that you actually know
shit about geometry? Because if I debate you, Gio, the people will turn to flat Earth.
I'm giving you an ultimatum here.
Other than believing what you have to say.
But I have to, because everything you've done was completely nonsensical.
Well, that's your opinion, isn't it, Gio? That's why you're in this mess in the first place.
For fuck's sake. Please do me this favor. I promise it will be over in 30 seconds. Share your screen.
Well, for what purpose?
To determine if you actually know about geometry in a sufficient way, so we can talk about it on a scientific.
I'm here to talk about the shape of the Earth.
Yes,
you don't need those things.
Do you know what? Do you know the science that? Do you know the part of mathematics that deals with shapes?
Yes, of course. Everybody knows.
How is it called? How is it called?
How is what called?
The part of mathematics that deals with shapes.
Yeah, but we're not dealing with that.
How is it called?
We're dealing with the shape of the Earth.
Yes, a shape. How is it called?
Well, we don't know the shape because nobody has seen it.
That is irrelevant.
That is very relevant. That's the whole point of it.
That is irrelevant.
You think we're on a board,
the science? What is the name of
not on a board.
What is the name of the part of mathematics that deals with shapes in general? How is it called? Come on, you know that.
Like I said, we don't know the shape of the Earth yet.
Irrelevant. We're talking about shapes in general. We could be talking about measuring, for example, some we would want to determine the area of a farm, for example.
Yeah, but we're not trying to determine the area of a farm. We're trying to find out if Earth has curvature or not. So
I'm saying we're dealing with shapes in general. We're dealing with shapes in general.
No, I'm not dealing with general things. This is your problem, Gio. This is your problem. You've been looking at one thing and focus on another thing. Let's focus on the matter at hand.
Stop. No. We're not. First of all, I'm not gonna let you derail this again.
Well, that's all I'm interested in. Does Earth have curvature? Is the Earth spinning? That's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in all the mumbo jumbo pseudo science.
I've been asking.
Yeah, it's all pseudo science to me, Gio. It's not real. It's faith. All of your science is faith-based. Evolution, Big Bang.
Hey, don't throw anything else but anything that has some sort of relevance.
93 million miles away is all your trigonometry. It's all wrong. It's all math.
Hey, please do me a favor.
Yes.
We are talking about shapes.
No, we're talking about the shape of the Earth, not shapes in general.
Yeah, but the shape of the Earth is indeed a shape. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but which shape is it? That's what we're trying to find out.
Yes, and in order to understand that, we have to know the properties of shapes in general.
No, we don't. We need to find out by looking at the shape of the Earth.
Yeah. Do you
We're
understand
not
that?
find out
Oh, for fuck's
by
sake! Do you
or looking
understand
down
that
or
the
right
Earth?
looking down.
Hey, do you understand that the Earth has a shape?
It
will
has a
have
shape.
some. It will have some sort of shape. Okay, it does.
That's what we have to find out there, Gio.
Yeah, agreed. But in order to
So
understand,
you have your way of finding out,
sake,
and
you
I
did
have
it
my
again.
way.
Stop! Shut the fuck up. Again, I was making a point. You were interrupting me. This is the last time you're gonna do that.
Yeah, but I'm not making this about me. If it's about me, then just forget about the conversation.
Listen to me. When we are talking about shapes,
Mhm.
we need to know the properties
No,
of
you
shapes.
don't need to know. This is where you're making a mistake. This is why for 500 years you've been in this problem.
We need to know. Do you understand that let's just say the Earth is flat for the sake of argument, okay?
Okay.
Then, for example, when we would want to fly from one position of the planet to another one, we would have to be able to calculate the angles of that flight path.
Why?
Because if you don't do that, you will end at a random place.
How would you work that out?
By using geometry.
Yeah, but we've been flying around navigating for years and we haven't got lost.
Yes, because we use geometry.
No, people just sail around the Earth or they
Using
navigate.
geometry.
No, not all
If you
the
use
time.
if you use a compass, you're using geometry. So
Yeah,
that's
but
why. This is why I'm asking you. What
Yeah.
do you know about geometry? And that's why I would like you to share your screen. I promise, if you do this now, it will be over in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Gio?
it's already over because it's not about me, like I've told you many times.
Hey,
But
Gio.
we need to make sure, Spurs, that you actually understand what you're talking
I
about.
need to make sure that you understand that you're not on a spinning ball. Do you understand that? No. So
Don't
this is why
derail
I'm
this
here
again.
to
We're-
teach you and show
we're
you
talk-
that
we're
there is no
talking-
curvature.
Right now,
This is
we're
the point.
talking about shapes in general. We're not
Because you think
talking
that you
about.
can teach me, and I'm saying everything that you've been taught has been a lie. So therefore, that anytime you speak about your type of education, it's false. You can show anybody nothing. This is the problem
Yes, I
that
can.
you find yourself in, Gio, along with
You have-
Rumpus and all along the rest of you. You've all been indoctrinated. So everything that you talk about
Spurs?
Fuck
is
you.
I'm
based
sorry,
on
this
lies.
is false. We can determine the properties of triangles without ever having been gone to school. As soon as we know how to measure a length, we are able to determine that for ourselves.
Well, like I said,
Well,
what
length
you've
and
done
angle,
so
but
far
yeah.
has got you into a lot of trouble, and people now believe this lie. So we have to reset. We have to start
No,
again.
we don't.
Get the scrapbook again. Find out the correct measurements. Find the real distance of the sun, the real size of the sun, distance to the moon, distance of the stars. We need the correct technology, the right technology, improved
Hold on.
technology to find out these things.
So
we are not ready.
Spurs, let
And what
me try
annoys me is
this.
that
Let
you
me
guys
try this
are
again.
ahead and above yourself, thinking that you have the answers to something that you will never know.
This is not correct.
Okay.
So, Spurs, do you
Gio?
know what the stop? Let me just try this one more time. So, Spurs, when you have a radius of a circle, okay?
Does this
Have a
have to do with
circle.
the shape of the Earth?
Yes.
Okay, explain to
Yeah.
me how this proves it's a ball.
All right, but first of all, we have to know how geometry works. When you have a circle, it will have a diameter, and it will have a radius, and it will have a circumference, right?
Yeah, we're listening. Teach us.
Yeah,
Teach
I
us how
just
this
want
is
you
the
to
ball.
confirm
My
that you
fellow
think that
flat
is
earthers
correct.
are waiting for your ball Earth proof. Let's hear it.
Yeah, but first of all, I want to make
it's
sure.
not about
I want to
me,
make sure
it's
at every
the
single
subject
step that you
matter.
understand what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Yeah, but
That's
it's not
why-
about me.
It indeed is
I
because
know
you
you're
are
desperate to make this about me, Gio.
I'm sorry,
I understand that there was obviously some type
You
of
did it again.
tactic to try and make this a
Hello.
personal thing about me, but it's not going to happen. This is about the flat Earth.
Yes,
about you
correct,
proving
correct.
where we
You
live.
stop. You are the flat earther here. You are the one that I'm trying
That's
to
what we're
convince
left
that
with. That's what we resorted to.
again. You are
By
the flat earther.
force. Yeah, by force, Gio. I'm
Stop.
forced to be a flat earther.
Stop. This has nothing to. For fuck's sake. You are the flat earther here. Okay.
Mhm,
You
yes.
are the one I'm trying to convince that the Earth is a ball. Therefore, since I don't know how skilled you are in terms of geometry or anything, I will ask you at every single step of my argument how much of it you will understand, okay?
Okay, so you said one good thing there. You said you want to know how you can prove it's a ball. Yes?
Yes, and that's what I'm going to do right now. That's what I'm going to do right now.
You stop there. You stop at that moment. You say, how do you want to know if Earth is a ball? So I say, let me think about that. Okay, so we want to see real footage, real photographs of a spinning ball.
Prove it without that.
If you well, that's the problem that you've got yourself in.
No,
we've not got a problem. You're
guys,
let Geo finish.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, please just talk when I don't. Okay.
All right. Go on.
Okay. So again, you have a circle. That circle will have a diameter. It will have a radius, and it will have a circumference. Right? You understand that? Spurs? Yes or no?
What, I can speak now?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm asking you questions, then yeah. But in this case, it's just yes or no.
Just give your presentation. I'm listening.
Yeah, but I want you to confirm that you understand every single step of it.
Yeah, I understand. Understood.
Okay. So what is the formula that describes the ratio between the circumference of a circle and its diameter? Or the radius? Because all those three are interlinked with each other. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm asking you. I want to know if you know that. What equation do you have to apply if you want to know the circumference of a circle and you only have the radius?
Well, if I want to know if the Earth is flat or round, I would wait for equipment and technology.
Oh, for fuck's sake! This is a mathematical question. This is mathematics.
This is not going to provide. This is magic. This is myth. This is fairy tale.
I'm sorry.
This ratio is fairy tale.
The ratio. Hey,
this is a fairy tale, is it? This ratio.
The ratio of the circumference of a circle and its diameter is given. That's always the same, no matter how large or small the circle is. That's just.
Why has it failed us so far then? Why is all
I'm sorry.
So this is the level he's at. And I don't believe he's got a bloody GCSE.
Well, I want to understand why this has failed. Why people?
No. I'm getting to it. If you could
people are doubting the board.
Stop
if
interrupting
what you're
me.
saying is true, Gio, we wouldn't have any flat. We wouldn't have one flat earther ever anywhere. If what you're saying is true.
Spurs. Every single circle. Take a plate.
Did you hear what I just said? If what you're saying is true, we wouldn't have any flat earthers. So you must be lying to me right now.
You're lying about this.
Yes, but you must be lying because if what you're saying proves that we're on a board, we wouldn't have any flat earthers.
Yes, I'm getting to it, but Spurs, I'm getting to it, but
it's really have over
Spurs, let me finish. Spurs, let me finish. I'm getting to it, but I have to start with you in really
again, it's
small
not about
steps.
Me. It's about the shape of the Earth.
All right, and who am I explaining it to? I'm explaining it to you. Therefore, I have to go to your fucking level and explain it very, very small
why
steps.
We are on a spinning ball.
I am. But I'm doing it in very small steps so even you can understand it. So listen to my argumentation and answer the question and don't derail it. Because my
point to you is saying is that everything that you're telling me has been your problem since day one. Every time you open your mouth about math,
Alex, he thinks that what you're saying is a problem. That's how low level he's got. That's the level of our competence he's got.
Well, it's not a problem to me.
There's a problem.
People that have become flat earthers.
So, guys, I need this to be uninterrupted. I need to talk to Spurs only, okay? So, please do me a favor and mute yourself again. I have no other choice.
Okay.
No, Gia, I told you this is
no. Spurs, stop.
Right?
Stop.
So I know that you want to make this about me.
Stop. I'm not talking. Stop.
Okay.
Stop. Okay. Great. You can take any circle that you want. You can take a plate. You can take the pop filter in front of my microphone right now. You can take the wheel of a car. You can take anything that is circular. You can measure the diameter. You can measure the circumference, and you can measure the radius. And what you will find is that when you divide the the circumference by the radius, you will always get the same number. This is a case. All right.
Okay.
All circles share this property. When you measure the circumference and you divide it by the radius, you will always get the same number. Now, this means that there's an equation that can be universally applied to all circles. All right. And that equation will contain the diameter on one side, the circumference on the other side, and the ratio between the two on one of the two sides, depending on how you form the equation. Do you know that equation?
So how many people do you think you've just converted with that, Gio? How many people do you think that were flat earthers have now looked at what you've just said, listened to what you've just said, and is now a baller? Because I think you've just turned a lot of
until now, everything I've done was to explain a little bit of mathematics.
Yeah, but what do you think? How have you changed any flat earthers' mind?
I'm going to it. But first of all, do you understand my explanation?
Yeah,
do you understand that? Okay,
I understand.
All right.
How is that? How are you going to?
I will go to it. I will go to it. It will take some time. It might take hours with you, but I will go to it.
Yeah.
Okay?
So how is what you've just said?
Again, who's interrupting you?
Yeah, because you keep asking all the questions. I want to ask you some questions.
No. Yeah, but I'm explaining.
I need to know how you see the world, Gio.
Again,
how you
did it again.
Things, Gio.
You did it again.
I want to see if you are the full shilling, Gio. I want to test your mind, Gio, and see how you see things logically. I want to see if you have just been indoctrinated all your life, Gio. That's how I want to see things.
Spurs, I will explain to you how this proves that the Earth is not flat, but it takes some time to explain it to you.
Well, it shouldn't take some time. This is the problem.
No.
It's a simple procedure. This is why flat Earth has blown up overnight. It takes one night.
Yeah,
it takes one evening.
There's a few simple
people become flat earthers within a second, not days and days and days.
Spurs, I'm explaining it to you. You're just so fucking slow.
Well, I'm sorry, Gio, but for tell me it's going to take a long time to explain something that is very, very simple. Flat Earth exploded on the scene, and it's taken people less than a day, an hour, a few minutes. Look at the information and say, you know what?
I'm going to it. Just give me the possibility to explain it. Do you understand? Now, this is the yes or no. If you answer it by another thing than a yes or a no, you're going to get kicked. Because this is the yes or no.
Yeah.
Do you understand that there's a? Do you understand that there's a ratio that describes?
Well, at the end of the day, I've had enough of this conversation because you guys are not listening. I'm here to teach you, not you to teach me.
This is
the reason why you're in this mess.
Hey! Let me try this once. Please,
no,
please do me a favor,
you're not listening.
Please do me a favor and
just listen. Why you're in this mess in the first place because you've been listening to this rubbish.
Just
try to listen to the truth for once. Try to listen to real people
listen to me once. Listen to me once. Do it. Do me that favor.
What are you saying?
All right. I've established that there's a ratio that describes the ratio. I've established there's a ratio that describes there's an equation that describes the ratio between a circumference of a circle and its diameter or its radius. Now, that ratio is that the circumference equals 2 times pi. Pi is a number 3.14 plus a little bit of smaller stuff, but it's approximately 3.14 times the radius of that circle. Now, this has some implications to a flat Earth model, some very hard implications. For example, when we actually take a look at how big the diameter or if we take a look at the equator, right? Standard model says that the equator has about 40,000 kilometers in circumference. Now, if you apply that equation, you will find out that on a flat surface, the distance between the North Pole and the equator would only be about 6,300 kilometers. However, the distance between the pole, the North Pole, and the equator turns out to be about 10,000 kilometers. That means that there's a geometrical impossibility there for a flat Earth model. Because, if you're claiming that the Earth is still flat, there are two possibilities. Either the equator is much larger than you think it is, which every measurement we've done so far negates, or that the distance between the equator and the poles, which we've measured to be about 10,000 kilometers, is indeed only about 6,300. There's a problem. There's a really large problem for flat earthers in there. And to solve that, you actually have to know why the geometry is a problem. All right?
Okay.
Okay, so which one is it? Which of the two values is false? Is it the radius or is it the circumference? And if it's one of them, how did you measure it that it's false?
I just think you need to reset Geo and everything that you know and just start again. Scrap
I'm
all
sorry.
of-
It's
scrap-
utterly pointless talking with you. I'm sorry. If you've not understood this, there's no point in talking with you. See you.
Yeah,
I'm fucking
afraid-
pissed.
Yeah, I bet you are. Well, you see, the trouble is, I've seen him in action like this before. He's not sincere in trying to engage with you. And are you doing a sterling job in pursuing that to the nth degree? But you were more patient than I think you needed to be. I've seen him in action before. I'm afraid this is what he does all the time. And he also intervenes in arguments and debates strategically to disrupt them and to disrupt people making points. He's basically an A1 wanker. I don't use that term very often, but this guy, he seems quite reasonable, says, doesn't use abusive language, but he behaves in a really devious and obnoxious way. By the way, what's his face came in and kicked people.
What? I didn't even notice that.
We've had people sniped in this hangout. What's his name?
Wait, how did this
Tim
work?
Osman, the guy who's got the Tim Osman, I think it was Tim Osman who did it, came in and kicked out David Fulton and Torpedo Belt and microblogism.
Oh, for fuck's sake. But I'm not sure how this is possible. I mean, I only gave the link to the people I know, plus Spurs.
Yeah, well, he came in and then, well, so anyway, I don't know. He was in this.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So anyway, I kicked him out, but he kicked out 3 of the other people in here. I don't know why he didn't kick me, but he didn't. So I kicked him.
All right.
What a
So
wanker.
first of all, thanks for kicking him. That would have been close. I think I was showing the link. I'm a fucking moron. Okay. Yeah. Well, that explains it.
Right.
All right then. I think we're gonna stop this for today because
I think so.
I'm really pissed.
Yeah.
So to sum up, we've gotten rid of some misconceptions about the Isle of Man footage, and
it's fantastic.
Spurskimo was a fucking retard.
Yeah.
So see you guys.
It's actually been a very productive hangout, except for the last hour when basically your patience was tested to the very, very, very limit and beyond.
Oh no! I could have gone with this forever, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, but he's a wanker. He really, honestly, I used to think he was just a bit stupid and he was open to him, but he's not. You can see by the devious way he plays with things. He doesn't want to engage with you sincerely. He really is an A1 wanker. I don't use that term very often, but he really is.
All right. And on the terrible disappointment, it's time to end. Thanks.
It's a great hangout, though, Gio. Great hangout. The first half hour was absolutely fantastic.
Thanks. So, see you guys maybe next week or so when I might have the next one. Bye.